Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the Autobots and the Decepticons fighting the everlasting battle of supreme dominance. Well, I know that one wants to go home and the other one wants to just do evil things. And this war has been going on for way too fucking long, man. In Transformers Rise of the Beast, hitting store shelves along with the unnerving horror flick Talk to Me, a little bit of predator action in Prey. Dogs end up being all kinds of naughty in Strays, along with a little bit of 4K upgrade love for the third entry in the Scream franchise, Scream 3, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart under the new releases. And I think it's time to roll out with some good old media love. Yes, indeed, because, last week I was talking about franchises that wouldn't die. And thus we have Transformers. Shit. The 4K digital for $29.96, the Blu-ray digital for $24.96, and the DVD for $19.96. Oh, baby. You just can't put a good Transformer down, can you? You certainly cannot, man. Holy hell. Yes, indeed. Because, well, come hell or high water, Transformers movies will always be in style, whether you like it or not. Yes, indeed, man. Look, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theater with John, and I'm gonna be honest, I had no will, I had no even sense of excitement to want to watch this goddamn thing, but look, John is still a big Transformers fan. He likes the brand, he likes the franchise, and he's like, hey, you mind if we go? And I'm like, gosh, shit, fine. Alright, what the hell, dude? Why not? Not that I want to, but I'll fucking do it for you, man. Maybe nobody else, but for you, sure. So, yes, we went into the theater and we watched it. And once I stepped out, once it was all done, once the credits rolled, I thought to myself, I mean, to be fair, John really did dig this movie. He actually liked it quite a bit, but I did not, man. I had really no sense of fun or engagement with this movie. I mean, look, the Transformers movies have been rather hit or miss, more miss than hit, and this one is more of the same shit. It's a lot of human characters doing stupid, ridiculous shit, evading Transformers and all of the evil bots and shit, and death-defying ways, and you're like thinking to yourself, like, wait a minute. How the fuck would you even survive that? Whatever, man. We're so deep into this franchise, who gives a fuck at this point? The characters are absolutely paper thin at best. The motivations are, okay, fine. Well, I guess you're doing it for your sick brother, and I guess you're into artifacts and shit, and you don't want this rare artifact to get in the hands of any other evil person, and you're preserving history. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever fucking motivations you want to try to pretend to have, sure. Do I really give a crap? The Autobots and the Decepticons, some you really care about and some you really don't. I mean, ones like Bumblebee you care, and Optimus Prime, and some of those ones that have been with the franchise for a long time you really sympathize with and you love because they're name brand characters in this name brand franchise. But a lot of the other Autobots and the Decepticons are just no-name Transformers that barely have any personality, and they're just there to just be another cog in the machine, man. That's all they really are, dude. I mean, seriously, it's just the same old shit you've seen over and over again. Maybe slightly more coherent Maybe because it's not Michael Bay, and at least the action you can kind of see and understand, and it's not just a hodgepodge mess of metal just banging into one another. There's actually some action that you can actually comprehend, which is a good thing, but it still was overall not very exciting or interesting, and it's all been there, done that, and you've seen it 10,000 other times before. Nothing new, inventive, or even spectacular, to be honest with you. It's just all the same shit regurgitated over and over and fucking over again. That's all it is, man. And I just really didn't give a shit. I seriously didn't. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, man. Maybe I'm fucking jaded at this point. But yeah, the CGI was good, and maybe there was an action scene that kind of made me rise in my pants a little bit. I mean, maybe, but yeah, few and far between, dude. This franchise and this series has just overstayed its welcome, and even if this is a little bit better than the other ones, it still suffers because, I don't know, man. How many times can you really watch Transformers beating on other Transformers, man? I could literally buy a fucking huge amount of toys and fucking do it myself and probably have a hell of a lot better time than watching it on the screen, dude. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It's not terrible, and it's better than some of the Michael Bay movies, clearly, but the best? No. Average? Sure. Okay. Yeah, alright. But at this point, we're kind of treading water, and even if this is slightly better, doesn't mean that it's really all that good. And Optimus Prime, I love you. Bumblebee, you're definitely my jam, but I think it's time to go back to Cybertron because I don't know how much more I can deal with this shit. Who's a good boy? Yes, who's a good boy? Oh, yes, you're a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, yes, yes, a good boy. Good boy, yes. Yes, you're such a good boy. I'm talking about the dogs, not y'all out there. In Strays, the Blu-ray DVD digital Unleashed edition for $22.96 and the DVD for $17.96. And oh, look what it's got in his mouth. The R rating logo. Oh, isn't that cute? I kind of have a feeling why the dog is doing that, because you want to make sure that people know that this is an R-rated movie, because kids could look at this and be like, Mommy, oh, how cute the dogs. No, it's probably a very heartwarming movie about little doggies. No, not at all, man. Probably best that he's got the R-rating logo in his mouth to just forewarn parents out there that this certainly ain't Marley and Me. Alright, that's for goddamn sure, man. Oh my lord, because these dogs, let me tell you, they get all kinds of naughty, man. They truly, truly do, dude. I got a chance to watch this on Peacock because, hey, I do have a subscription to Peacock, and they are streaming Strays, so I figure, you know, I might as well actually watch what I'm paying for. So why not actually watch something off of the service? Makes kind of sense, right? Yeah, sort of, kind of, man. Look, I didn't really know what I was walking myself into. I mean, to a certain extent I did, because the trailers really did present this as a very raunchy, R-rated comedy about dogs doing some very, very bad behavior. So I kind of knew that, but I didn't know how far they were going to take anything, and I didn't know really how technically bad behavior they were going to go with this thing. So I'm like, okay, maybe it might be a little bit more tamer than I thought, maybe a little bit more wilder, depending, but I definitely wanted to watch it, man. But I had also heard mixed things. People were like, it's okay, it's not that great. Some people were like, dude, it's fucking hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hold off, not see it in the movie theater, wait for it to hit on streaming, and indeed I did. And basically the movie is about Reggie. Well, that's not exactly his real name. His owner calls him Shitbag. And him and his owner Doug, they have a very complicated relationship because he really loves his owner. He thinks he treats him really well. But in reality, not so much, man. His owner absolutely fucking hates him, despises him. And I'm like, dude, if you hate your dog, take him to a fucking shelter or something. I mean, why keep the dog around? I just because he likes to torture poor innocent things? Maybe? Sure, why the hell not, man? Dogs need a little bit of tough love too, right? No. Come on, man. Dogs are cute and they're wonderful and they're loyal. Why you gotta do your dog dirty like that? Come on, man. But he does. But he keeps on trying to get rid of the goddamn thing. And no matter what he does, no matter how he tries, it just keeps coming back. But then he decides to drive 3 hours out of his way, throw the ball, and just run away really quickly from the car and just leave him on his own. He doesn't know how to get back or where he is. And he makes friends with a few strays, dogs that know the mean streets, yes, and teach him the ropes and perhaps teach him about what true friendship really means and all the crazy wild hijinks that go along with it because, yeah, friendship is cool and all, but it's the naughty stuff that really matters. Apparently so with this movie, dude. Look, this is not necessarily a new trend, and I mean that because there's a lot of movies that have gone the more naughtier, more risque route, man, whether it's with little kids or vegetables, you name it, dude. Like, they keep on doing this really raunchy comedies and keep on doing it in really unique and creative ways, and I'm like, okay, ones with dogs, that kind of makes sense, man. I mean, hey, yeah, we can all get a little bit wild and crazy, but maybe there's a secret side of dogs that we never knew, huh? Perhaps it is, man. Whether it's peeing on one another or humping random objects, you name it, and all the crazy stuff that we thought we knew everything about dogs, but we were sadly mistaken, man. Oh, we definitely are, man. You know, look, I'll admit, this is a cute movie for what it's worth, and I like the voice acting. Will Ferrell does a good job here. Jamie Foxx does. You got people like Josh Gad and Isla Fisher and a few people here that actually are really committing to the role and, man, really trying hard to get that comedy element and really hit you hard with the laughs. I think for the most part, they do succeed in that department. And I love the personalities of these dogs. They're all very different from one another depending on the dog breed and how they bring a unique flavor to the movie. I really like that a lot, man. And I think a lot of the comedic elements, especially the wild, crazy, naughty stuff, is just batshit insane, man. And I mean, whether it's the gross out stuff or the hallucinations, oh, we took some drugs, oh shit, to quite very sexual moments with dogs where I don't know if I really technically needed it, but hey, it definitely got a chuckle out of me. Okay? I mean, put it that way, dude. I think they really are going for the gross out, really in your face, raunchy style humor. And for the most part, I give them credit because they're really going for it, man. They're not shying away from it. And I do appreciate it. I think the biggest issue with me is the fact that it is like throwing spaghetti at the wall because they really throw a lot of comedy at you. And some of it is a little bit more effective than others. Other moments where you're like, I know you were really trying to hit hard with that joke, but it doesn't quite land the way that you were hoping it does. Look, they do play moments where they are going very wild with it, and other moments where they're playing the naivety of, oh, I don't know how ridiculous I am right now. Yeah. I'm humping this lawn gnome. Yes, I'm your father. It's so nice to meet you. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of sticking. And other moments with Will Ferrell where I'm like, okay, I give you credit for trying, and you really were really going out there for the joke and really trying to hit big with it and just not quite succeeding. And I think a lot of the voice actors, I think they're giving it their all, but I don't think they 100% pull it off either, man. Look, these type of movies are really tough to do, man, because you got to bring in the heart and the character and the emotion and the messaging and really hit you in the feels, at the same time going really hard with the comedy and really hitting you over the head with how crazy and wild all these dogs can really be, man. And oh shit, the other side of being an animal and how they can have just as much fun as us humans. I mean, I think 75% of the time, I think it really does do it pretty well. And there's about 25 to 30% where you're sitting there like, better luck next time, man. It's kind of a mixed bag, but I think it succeeds more often than it doesn't. And look, as I've said to you guys over the many, many years recently, that comedy is not easy to pull off. And a lot of recent comedies, sometimes they are really good with the laughs, and other times, quite frankly, they really miss the mark. And this is, to be fair, one of those times where I think if you're looking for something that's really wild and out there and ridiculous and over the top and just really not giving a fuck, then this is the movie for you, man. And as a dog lover, I love the emotional movies. I love the ones that are real tearjerkers. But now and again, look, you need like a Turner and Hooch, right? You need a Strays. You need something where it's just flat out comedic gold, man. Rover Dangerfield. You know what I mean, dude? Whether it's animated or live action, sometimes you need a good gut punch laugh, and Strays had it. And there were moments where I was really laughing hard, and I can't say that I do that with every single comedy these days, because I don't, but Strays ended up managing to get some laughs out of me, and, well, compared to a lot of other recent comedies out there, hey, that's points in their favor, okay? I'm just saying, man, it's not going to be for everybody, and please to God, understand that it is R-rated, and that kids should not be watching this, all right? I'm just going to freely admit, I mean, it's your mileage as a parent. You want to show your kid this, go ahead, but I warned y'all. Okay, I really did, man, okay? Keep them with All Dogs Go to Heaven. Keep them with the Marleys and Me's and, a few others of the heartwarming movies out there, but at least until they get a little bit more mature, a little bit more older, when they start to learn about the birds and the bees, maybe then they can watch Strays. But until then, just let them believe in, puppy dogs and good intentions and how dogs do nothing bad whatsoever. Yeah, they may, yell at the mailman and they may hump the fire hydrant, but that's because they just don't know any better. It was something like that. But man, this was a crazy, wild ride that actually was kind of effective. Let's put it this way, folks, okay? If you want to believe your dog is holier than thou and is the best boy, and a good boy he is or she is, maybe you don't want to know about every place that they do their business. Maybe you don't want to know the fact that they eat trash. Maybe the fact that they maybe hump that used couch that has that hole that they specifically love. Or perhaps wanting to mark their territory in more ways than you can possibly imagine. Look, dogs are very complicated, right? They show us love, they show us kindness, they show us support, loyalty. They show us so many values and qualities. But maybe what they do in their after hours is none of our business. Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface. They're all pussies compared to Winnie the Pooh? Shit, apparently so, man. In Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the DVD for $12.96. The only at Walmart Steely Love for $19.96. Oh, that's so great because, remember kiddies, this ain't no bedtime story. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's so great. Oh, that is so fucking awesome, man. All of the notorious slashers, and yet it only took a bear with a little bit of honey to terrify a new group of teenagers. Oh shit. Oh man. Bedtime stories come to life in horrific ways. Indeed, man. Look, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theater, swear to God, with John and Van. And we were intrigued, dude. We loved the trailer, and we just loved the concept, man. I mean, really think about it. Your childhood experiences, like a Winnie the Pooh or some of these great old school childhood favorites, turned evil, turned twisted, and coming at you in new and horrific ways, man. There's something about that that's really kind of clever and yet very devious and naughty at the same time. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this, man? So I had to experience this thing. And when you think about this at first, you're like, dude, how were they even able to make this motherfucker? Because, like, dude, it's Winnie the Pooh. Disney owns that shit, right? How were they able to pull any of this crap off? Well, technically they were, because they found a loophole, because the 1926 Winnie the Pooh book became public domain. Swear to God, guys. So they didn't take anything from any of the more recent Winnie the Pooh iterations that you know and love. They took everything from the 1926 adaptation and spun it into modern day. So actually, that's kind of clever. Ain't gonna lie, man. It really is. So they avoided the whole lawsuit stuff, and they could still make Winnie the Pooh into a horrific slasher, man. I gotta give them a lot of credit, man. I really do, man. It's actually kind of bold, and it's kind of cool to see them sticking it to the man at the same time. It's like, okay, I'm kind of here for that, man. Basically, the movie is about Christopher Robin, who many years before ended up leaving for college and left his buddies and pals behind and hoped that they fended for themselves. Well, yeah, hopes and dreams aren't always what you think they are, because they couldn't get any food, they couldn't get any means of survival, and so they turned cannibalistic. They started eating one another. Seriously, like, Pooh and friends, yeah, they like meat. And apparently people like Tigger and Eeyore and the rest of the gang, well, they taste pretty good. Oh, shit. So they become ravaged and mean and evil. And when Christopher Robin comes back, it's not like it once was, man. It just has turned dark and creepy and ominous. And Winnie the Pooh, who was once very sweet and loving, has turned into an evil that cannot be stopped. And when hot chicks get into the mix, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't. The fight for survival begins, and let's hope they got enough honey to satisfy them, because something tells me they ain't got shit. Alright. But, you know, when we left the movie theater, I think we all were like, this is kind of unique and interesting. And yeah, it is a slasher that you've seen over and over again, just with Winnie the Pooh instead of somebody like a Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, but you had never seen Winnie the Pooh like this before, so that in itself, you kind of had to at least respect. But it depended on our mileage, because Van really didn't like this movie. John was kind of in the middle. He enjoyed it for what it was, but he also saw its faults. But I gotta admit, guys, I fucking love this movie. I do, man. All of the warts and all with this thing, I really dug the hell out of this movie. And I realized, look, this is an indie production, right? That they're hampered by a lot of different elements and filmmaking issues, and the fact that they don't have the budget to really do something that would be as incredibly hard-hitting as something like a Friday the 13th or Halloween or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you name it. So they were kind of limited in their scope. At the same time, look, they only could do so much with the Winnie the Pooh character and so much with some of the iterations of that story, because they were limited to the 1926 version. So yeah, you have Pooh, you have Piglet, but you don't really have much else. And so they had to be creative, they had to do workarounds, and yes, there's a lot of faults with this movie, and yes, it is kind of cheapo. But that being said, I actually really liked what they did with what they had the means to do, man. And look, basically, this is just your average old slasher, hack 'em slash 'em type of movie with beautiful chicks getting cut up in horrific ways and stalked instead of by a hockey mask maniac or a dude with a beat up William Shatner mask. It's Winnie the Pooh with a knife. Yeah, it's just that simple. It really is, dude. And is the acting really all that amazing? No. Is the kills all that really ultimately fantastic and things you've never seen before? No, not exactly. Does some of the costumes look a little bit cheapo and kind of chintzy? Yeah, that too. But I have an imagination. Sometimes I can just go with a movie, and sometimes you just want a good slasher flick, a really great knife-wielding maniac killing hot chicks, and as long as the story is still entertaining and the kills are entertaining and you can kind of go with the whole premise, you do buy into it, man, and I did. Look, I recognize this movie is not perfect, not even by a long shot, but if you went into this movie expecting perfection, if you went in with high expectations, dude, that is totally your fault. I mean, what did you expect from this movie? Did you think this is going to be the most grand guignol horror masterpiece of all time? Because if you did, dude, you're fucking kidding yourself, okay? I knew at least walking into this that it was going to be somewhat of a slasher flick, a horror stalk 'em and slash 'em thing, and I just kind of went with it, dude. And when you did, I think you can enjoy the movie just a little bit more, and I went with it, man. I enjoyed Winnie the Pooh killing dumb and unsuspecting idiots. I did, man. And I had a lot of fun with it. And I knew that it wasn't going to be this high budget spectacular. I knew that it was going to be a little bit on the cheap side because, look, unless you've got Disney back in this goddamn thing, you're not going to be pouring oodles of money into this goddamn production. But at the end of the day, guess what? They got theirs because this made a crap ton of money. I mean, when you make it on the cheap and you get like $5 or $6 million out of the screenings, yeah, that's definitely a win. It absolutely is, because I kept asking myself, why hasn't anybody done this before? Taking a childhood favorite, a great memory of kids, and an entertaining icon for children's entertainment, and turning it twisted and perverted like this, man. I think it's just a really fantastic idea that really needs to be explored, and I'm glad somebody finally fucking did it, man. You might not think it's the greatest fucking slasher film of all time, and you'd be right on that. It's average, but for me, I thought just the premise alone really gave it that extra spice and layer that it really needed, from being just sort of mundane and okay at best, man. I thought it was pretty goddamn solid, and I believed that Winnie the Pooh could not only eat honey but kill at the same time. Damn. He sure is one hell of a multitasker. He is indeed, man. The 100-acre wood will never be the same, because once you turn cannibal and eat your friends and kill innocent victims, something tells me that the cute, cuddly version of you, yeah, I don't think you can ever really gain that back. You could try, but man, you'd need one hell of a PR firm, and something tells me that Winnie the Pooh ain't affording that shit anytime soon. Winnie the Pooh has turned deadly. Run for your lives, kids, because this ain't your grandpa's Winnie the Pooh. Not no more, baby, and damn glad for it. No one can truly escape the boogeyman. Yeah, you bet your ass. The Blu-ray digital for $19.96 and the DVD for $14.96. Ah, very nice. From the mind of Stephen King, yes. And that's all you really need to say, because Stephen King is that much of a legend, that much of a popular entity where you're like, okay, if it's Stephen King, okay, cool, I'm in, man. I mean, most people, when you hear Stephen King, you at least are like, I'm intrigued, right? Because we're kind of living in a King-assance, if you really think about it, man. Because he's really come back into prominence. Certain movies, and when we're talking about October and scary movie time, Stephen King always gets brought up, all of the Stephen King adaptations, so why not capitalize on it? Why not indeed, man? Now, I gotta admit, I have never read the source material for The Boogeyman, so I don't know whether it adheres to it completely, whether it takes liberties. I have no idea, so that is up to you guys, whether you know that or not, because I seriously have no idea. I watched the movie on Hulu, and I was like, okay, maybe this might be good, maybe it might not be, but it's Stephen King, so it's worth at least giving it an opportunity, right? Apparently. So basically, the movie is about this family, Sadie and Sawyer and their father, and they went through this tragedy of losing their mother to this horrific car accident that happened, and they're grieving, and they're very sad, and they're vulnerable, and this entity, demonic or otherwise, that preys on people's sadness and their vulnerability and their depression, and basically wants to feed on them and feed on their soul and their essence. And it's up to the girls to try to defeat the boogeyman once and for all. Yes, indeed it is. Good luck with that shit. Because I'll just be honest with you, it ain't gonna be all that easy, man. The scariest horror film of the year, perhaps, maybe, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, I went into this movie with literally zero expectations. Just knowing the fact that it's Stephen King and it's a Stephen King adaptation brings with it certain connotations. I mean, some adaptations are really good, some adaptations are not so hot. So where would this ultimately land? And I got to admit, it is pretty solid. Like, it's actually not bad. It's actually really fucking good. I love the performances of the girls, and I love the design of the boogeyman. Like, dude, that thing is creepy and terrifying as fuck. Like, I was like, oh my god, man, that is the stuff of nightmares. Like, how they design and how they light the creature, demonic entity. I was like, dude, that is horrific, man. I was like, what the fuck is that, dude? I mean, just how it likes to just stay in the dark and lurk around and shit and just get you at the opportune moment. Like, I'm like, yo. I'm like, if I was a kid, I would be fucking just under the bed. I would be praying. I don't know who, to God, to Allah, who gives a fuck, man. Somebody please help me, Lord. Jesus. I loved that so much, man. That was really great. And I thought the scares were really effective. And I actually really thought, dude, like, there was some really genuine, scary horror style moments in there where it really got me. If I wasn't watching this in the daytime, if I was watching this in the nighttime, I think I might have started having like heart palpitations. Like, I was like, oh my god, man, where's the fucking ambulance when I need it? Yo, like, that would have been mega stress, man. Seriously, it would have gone down, all right? No doubt about it, dude. So there's a lot to really like about this movie overall, man. Whether it's the performances or the scares or the creature itself, all work actually really well, man. I mean, all put together, it makes for a creepy experience, and it is only little over an hour and a half. So it's not a big, giant 2+ hour commitment, so that also helps as well. Here's the ultimate problem about the movie. As good as it actually is, it gets hindered by the fact that it is really slow. And I mean dead ass slow. And even though this is a little more than an hour and a half, it felt like 2+ hours watching this movie. I'm not even lying, man. There are moments where I'm like, dude, we really need to speed this shit up. When the movie is good, the movie is fucking fantastic, and it scares the shit out of you, and you are terrified of the creature, but a lot of the time, you're just middling around, and you're just waiting for the next great scary moment to hit you, and the rest of the time, you're kind of like, yeah, Jesus, 10 minutes have gone by. Maybe I should fast forward this shit. Yeah, it's kind of like that, dude. And it really sucked because as much as I really like the movie, it is hindered by that and also very predictable moments, right? Of course, the father doesn't believe the kids. Of course, he's like, well, they're just kids and it's all their imagination. Oh boy, kids these days, and they're dealing with a lot of grief and oh, they're just coming up with all kinds of things these days, right? Oh, you darn kids. And I'm like, no, man. Why can't once in these fucking movies the adult actually believe the kids, for Christ's sake, man? Fucking hell, dude. Ah, that kind of pisses me off, man. And of course, we have to have the creepy person that has encountered the boogeyman before and get information from them. And there's all these kind of predictable moments that have to be in the movie, right? It's all sort of predetermined. And that also kind of strays away from it as well, because you know where all the beats are going to hit. But regardless of all of that, it's still a really solid movie with really solid scares and a monster that is pretty goddamn effective, dude. So it's got its high points, it's got its low points. Is this the best Stephen King adaptation? No. Is it the worst? Oh, hell no. I think it's definitely in the higher bracket. Not top tier, but above average. Yeah, it is. Trust me, the boogeyman is the stuff of nightmares. I'm kind of glad I'm an adult, because if I was a kid, I would piss my fucking pants. And, well, then he'd probably get me. Yeah, I'm kind of fucked. Run, hide, fight, or die. Doesn't really matter, because in the end, you'll be the prey. Yes. The Blu-ray for $24.96. Oh man. Who's up for a little bit of Predator love, man? Yes. Goddamn, dude. I am so extremely happy to see this out in physical media form. It is fan-fucking-tastic, dude. I talked about it with Loki Season 1 last week, but I gotta give the same appreciation to Prey. The fact that this was on streaming hell for the longest time, and I thought, dude, we're never gonna get this on physical. And now having this here in the stores is awesome. Oh, man. Fanboy wet dream, dare I say. It definitely absolutely is, man, because this came straight to streaming on Hulu. And once I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks really awesome, potentially badass. Why is this only on streaming? Maybe the studio has no confidence in the material. They thought, well, the Predator franchise isn't exactly what it used to be, so maybe it's just best to keep it on streaming. But once all of us guys watched it, Van, John, Bob, we were in Casa La Film Fan 108, having a little bit of food and having some good times, chillaxing, and getting into some Predator goodness. And after we watched it, after we ended up experiencing this thing, we were like, dude, this is fucking amazing. This is great. Holy shit, man. Like, where has this been all of our lives, man? God damn, dude. This is one of the best Predator movies of all fucking time, dude. It really is just that fucking good, man. It's rock fucking solid. The action is really well done, well handled, on the edge of your seat, exciting. The characters you actually get to know and invest in. And the Predator is absolutely fucking badass, and the kills are great, and the weaponry is, oh man, damn, do I love the Predator's weaponry. I really do, dude. It was such a pitch perfect movie about this Comanche warrior in the early 1700s and fighting the Predator with primitive means. And man, it was just such a great survival of the fittest mentality and a really great survive or die, great like battle, like nature versus nurture, and the ultimate man versus beast storytelling. And dude, I was totally here for it, and man, did it impress me like a motherfucker. It seriously did, dude. And look, we can argue about the Predator franchise one way or another. The good moments, the bad moments, the movies that really achieved what they were trying to go for, and other movies that, quite frankly, really fell flat on their asses. And yet at the same time, this movie kept it simple. It didn't try to overdo the plot or some crazy story about how the predators are trying to take over the world, or how scientists are trying to manipulate the chemistry and the DNA of predators and make ones of our own and a whole army. It didn't try to do that, man. It was just a simple story of survive or die, and goddamn did it do it fan-fucking-tastic. It just proves that you don't need to have this overcomplicated plot, and you don't need to have all these cooks in the kitchen try to come up with this story to keep the franchise going, because we have to end up really just making this story larger than life with world-ending stakes like the Transformers movies. Anybody? We don't need to do that. We just need to keep it man versus beast. We have to keep it into that survival mode, and that's what Predator has always been good at, and that's what they continue to still be good at, and this movie proves that to a T, man. It is just really that damn good. And sometimes keeping it simple stupid is just the way to go. And they done did it with Prey, man. Oh, yeah, there's moments where maybe you can complain here and there about maybe some of the CGI, or maybe a character here or a dumb moment there. Sure, yeah, you can always find a nitpick here or there. But at the end of the day, man, this really achieves the goal that it was trying to set out. Not only really make a great Predator movie, but also really bring it back to basics. And it did it in a big, bad way, man. This is how you fucking do a franchise, man. And, oh, dude, it's opened up so many possibilities, and I cannot wait to see where they go next. Because if it's half as good as Prey, yeah, I'll be sitting and watching it day fucking one. Oh, you bet your ass I will be, man. Ain't no doubt about that shit. Oh, so good. You got a little bit of Prey love, a Stephen King adaptations, Transformers, who was really asking for it, but sure, why not? A little bit of comedy gold, and Winnie the Pooh slashers. Oh, so good, man. Not half bad for good old Walmart. They definitely be doing the due diligence, and you got to appreciate that. Let's head out. I see you, Walmart. Oh, I do indeed. Putting that physical media love out, representing. Don't think I didn't notice. I don't think I didn't notice, indeed. I think we all do, because it seems like Walmart is definitely bringing the heat, baby. We got the Hollywood blockbusters. We got the movies that are finally getting out of straight to streaming hell. We even got a little bit of Screen Factory exclusive, too. Man, they ain't doing half bad, man. Not half bad at all. I'm definitely digging the selection. I hope you are, too. I mean, they've definitely been giving us the hits week in and week out, so why would this week be any different? At least I was hoping, and damn glad I was proven right. Not bad after all. It's nice to be in the bask in the glow of physical media glory, and let's hope that the rest of the stores do the same. I'm not sure it'll happen, but let's hope they take Walmart's example and run with it. But how about we go and see what the rest of the stores have for us this week? All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something, and, well, wouldn't you know it, Disney's in the news yet again with their streaming hijinks. You don't say. Let's dive in, shall we, with remove Disney Plus original content is now for sale on other streaming apps. Let's dive in. Over the summer, Disney yanked a dozen originals from its platform in an attempt to shave $1.8 billion, that's with a B, from its current budget and put towards more profitable content later. Some of those titles are now popping up on other paid platforms like Apple, Vudu, and Amazon. The Disney original movie Crater, for example, is now available on Amazon Prime Video to rent for $3.99 or purchase for $19.99. Other titles include Artemis Fowl, Better Nate Than Ever, the 2022 remake of Cheaper by the Dozen, Flora and Ulysses, Stargirl, and its sequel, Hollywood star girl, the one and only Ivan, Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made, and Wolfgang. On Prime Video, these movies are also available for $3.99 or $19.99 to buy. Customers wanting to watch one of these titles might balk at having to now pay for content that was once free with a subscription on Disney+. Despite its popularity, Disney streaming services haven't been making money. CEO Bob Iger has a number of goals to achieve in less than a year for skeptical investors to see a return. In addition to calling more than 100 titles from its app this year alone, Iger plans to entice customers with a Hulu Disney Plus bundle and potentially sell off its India assets. In August, the media giant reported an operating loss for its streaming services, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, as well as a dip in subscribers across a few of its services. To help staunch its bleeding bottom line, Disney is hiking prices on its services. Disney Plus Premium will go up $3 to $13.99 a month. Hulu without ads will also increase by $3 to $17.99, and ESPN Plus tax on an extra $1 to $10.99 a month. In addition, Hulu with live TV with ads will cost $76.99 a month. Woo! God damn. While the ad-free version will cost $89.99 each month and $7 a month increase for both plans. These prices changes will go into effect later in the month. Ooh, wonderful. The company also plans to take a page from Netflix's playbook and crack down on password sharing next year. The move could yield a boom in signups that it did for Netflix, or Disney could lose more customers. Either or, I don't know, man. Disney is just one of many struggling streaming services. Peacock and Paramount Plus have raised prices from $9.99 to $11.99. A Netflix subscription now costs up to $15.49 a month, and Max comes in at the most expensive, costing $15.99 a month. Really? What the fuck you putting on that service, man? Seriously. As inflation climbs, more households are looking for ways to curb spending. Over the last few years, monthly spending on streaming subscriptions has declined 25% from $90 in 2021 to $73 in 2023. In a time of economic uncertainty, companies face a nearly impossible balancing act of staying profitable while retaining increasingly budget-minded customers. Yes, because raising your prices will definitely keep the budget-minded customers. Yeah. Oh, shit, man. God damn, dude. Oh, the streaming wars have just begun. No, they truly have, man. God damn. Okay, look, dude. You know what? Actually, what Disney is doing, they're following a different model. Because what they're following is actually the Sony model. Because think about this, right? We always talk about Paramount and Universal and Disney and all these places having their own subscription service. You know what company doesn't have one? It's Sony. Yeah, seriously, look that shit up, man. They don't have one, so they license out their content to other platform services. So not only do they make money in the movie theaters and on physical media, but they also get money from the back end by other companies actually licensing the content. So it's like, okay, win, 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 right? And Disney is like, well, if we've gotten rid of the content on Disney Plus, might as well share it with other places and get a share of the revenue. Okay, that's fine and dandy and everything, but there's a difference between what Sony does in a way that Disney just did. Sony doesn't have a platform, so they didn't have the opportunity to take this stuff down and then screw over customers in the long run. Ta-da! Exactly, that's what Disney did. And so, yeah, if I was a consumer and saw that, I'd be none too happy too, man. The fact that it was all there on one streaming platform and you got rid of it only to charge me to watch it yet again on a different platform. Yeah, I'd have a bone to pick with them. I really would. On top of that, raising the prices certainly don't help matters, but at the same time, look, Bob Iger has to prove to these investors that he can make a buck. And the fact that Disney is losing a lot of money, and look, some of it is Bob Iger's fault and some of it isn't. And he's just trying to put out some of the smoke and the flames that is going on right now, man. And he's got to do whatever he can, whether it's selling off assets, getting rid of content, putting it on other platforms, or frankly, just raising prices, man. Whatever he's got to do, he's going to do. And on top of that, with the password sharing, I mean, yes, it has worked well so far for Netflix, gaining more subscriptions because of it, but I think Netflix has a lot more to offer than Disney Plus. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, there's certain things that I really love with Disney Plus. There's certain things that I like watching, but to be honest with you, I think we get a lot more content week in and week out with Netflix than we ever will, really, if you really think about it, with Disney Plus. And for me, I can still justify a Netflix subscription. Yes, it's getting high, and yes, I'm considering things, but I'm still watching a lot of stuff month in and month out, so I can kind of give it a little bit of a pass. But companies like HBO Max, well, now called Max, sorry, or Disney Plus, I sort of think to myself, like, dude, every so occasionally you have a show that I kind of want to watch on a weekly basis, and maybe I'll subscribe for a couple months or so, but yeah, why bother for a full long-term commitment, man? And I think a lot of people are starting to think about that. Look, I've always said to you guys that entertainment is at a premium. It really is. With so much stuff out there for your eyeballs to really devour and so many options to have, that you really do need to be more picky than usual. You really have to say to yourself, what is worth getting and what is worth leaving behind. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think we all look at the situation with streaming, and we all look at these companies and all of these services, and we start to really ask ourselves at the end of the day, like, dude, yeah, I'd love to have Apple and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and Netflix and Peacock and Hulu and Paramount Plus and all these other streaming services. That would be fucking phenomenal. But I also realize, guys, that that's a hefty amount of price. I've got to worry about bills. I've got to worry about issues with my car. I've got to worry about rent, food. Like, I've got to worry about all that stuff on top of ever so occasionally, oh, by the way, I want some physical media love at the same time. So I've got a budget like a motherfucker, okay? I don't got time for this shit. I really don't. And with the prices being hiked up now, it's really becoming more and more difficult to justify keeping some of these services, man. It really honestly is. So, there's got to be corners that have to be cut. And it's interesting because Disney Plus wants to keep subscribers. They want to gain new ones, but at the same time, they're raising their prices, but not really giving us quality entertainment worth justifying that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I ultimately have the problem. I understand as a business model, they need to make money. They need to justify why they're doing certain things. And of course, appease the higher ups. Fair enough. But as a consumer, I also have decisions to make. And I also have to really see how far I can stretch a dollar. And you raising it certainly ain't helping matters. Just saying, dude. Look, we're living in an age where we gotta be a little bit more level-headed in how we really spend our hard-earned money and where we're gonna put it. And these streaming services that can just take down content at the drop of a hat and put it on another platform and just force you to buy it more and more and more. I think we're kind of getting a little fed up with that shit. It's like really getting to that level, man. And how much more are we willing to take until we just say fuck it? I mean, look, everybody says digital is the next best thing, that we are going towards it, and whether we like it or not, and we're just going to have to accept it. Fair enough, but as consumers, we also have a say in the matter. And, well, sooner or later, companies are going to have to realize that. And when they don't, there will be consequences. So what do you think about that, guys? Do you think that Disney is justified in what they're doing, or sooner or later it will bite them in the ass? Definitely let me know. But what about the physical media goodies? I mean, Walmart was definitely delivering, but what about good old Target? Well, I guess we'll have to just go in and find out.
All right, everybody. We are in Target under the new releases, and it looks like we've got a wee bit of new media love. Oh, indeed we do. Let's dive in, shall we, with the mysteries of the other side. And maybe a little bit of caution as to not mess with what you don't know. And talk to me, yes. The 4K Blu-ray digital for $26.99. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99. And that's a hand that I don't think I'd touch. You bet your ass, baby. Oh, man. I'm surprised we did not see this over at Walmart, because this was a pretty popular horror flick, man. It definitely was the talk of the town for quite a bit. People definitely embraced it, and I can see why, because, well, hey, some horror movies are just that damn good, and Talk to Me is absolutely one of them, man. I got a chance to see this in the movie theater with John and Van, and truth be told, we watched it because the trailer kind of intrigued us. The idea of this hand and connecting with it and seeing the other side and what that ultimately does to your body and your soul and your mind. And I was like, okay, that kind of got me. That grips me, man. Okay, I want to go to the movie theater to watch this thing. And basically, the movie is about this older teenage girl who had an incident happen in her life with her mother. Was it ultimately an accident? Was it suicide? Not entirely sure, but she's gone. And it's affecting her and her dad, and she's in this real bad funk, and she has been for a while. And her friends are like, hey, let's get you out, let's go to this party, let's talk to boys, let's drink. Who's up for a little weed? And so, sure, why not? And when they're at the party, some of the teenagers are like, hey, we've got this party trick that we kind of do. And she's like, okay, what the hell is this thing? And like, well, it's this embalmed hand from a dead median that's all like in plaster and shit. And if you hold it for a certain set of time, you can talk to someone from the other side who's dead. What? Get the fuck out of here. And they're like, no, seriously, it's real, man, we swear. And she tries it, and it's like, dude, there's really somebody right there in front of them that is like grotesquely dead. And she's like, oh my God, man, what the fuck? Like, dude, we weren't lying. Trust me, it's not a hallucination. I know the weed's good, but it ain't that good. And so they're like, holy shit, man. And so, they're having fun with it, and they're playing these games and mocking it and shit. And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't play with shit that you do not understand. But look, these are teenagers. They don't know any better. But the more you use it, perhaps you're not using it. Perhaps the other side is using you. And all of the complications, the drama, and the horror that follows. Yes. You know what, man? It was kind of interesting because all three of us had very different reactions. Van did not really care for this movie. John thought it was kind of slow at first, but picked up and got much better. Me, I thought it was phenomenal all the way through, man. I've told you guys that I don't mind slow burn horror. As long as it's not too slow, as long as it's not wearing out its welcome, and you're still intrigued by the characters and the situations, and it doesn't get really too boring, I go on board with it. Where a movie like The Boogeyman was a little too slow for its own good, this one was just the right amount and still kept me intrigued and invested and interested without being completely bored or mundane at any point in time. And I really loved it, man. I just love the idea that this girl who was just heartbroken by life and this tragic situation finds solace in a chance to maybe see her mother one more time. But just because you see her, is that ultimately her? Or if it even is her intentions pure? Being on the other side, and the idea of the unknown and the mystery of that and the creepiness of it. Because look, at the end of the day, let's be real, guys, we barely have any understanding about what happens after you die and what the other side is. We like to think of heaven and hell, but we don't really know at the end of the day. Those are just concepts that we've all made up to sort of comfort ourselves in some way. But we really have no fucking clue, man. And it could be really dangerous and really unsettling. And what do these dead people want? I mean, if we're communicating with them, Are they just there for conversation purposes? You know, coffee and cigarettes and shit? No, I don't think so, man. I think their intentions could be anything but. It reminds me of movies like Insidious and Going Into the Further, and the idea that, yes, these people are dead, but they want a fresh body. They want a new chance at life. Or perhaps they want to take people with them to the other side. Yeah, man, it gets pretty dark, pretty ominous, pretty demented. And I really loved it, man. And just that slow descent into madness and chaos. And I just really loved where they went with this. And I thought they did it brilliantly. Even though there is some naysayers out there that are like, well, look, it could have been a little bloodier and gorier and really hit you with that gut punch. And I'm going to slightly push back on that, man, because this movie is going for a more creepy, unsettling nature that really messes with your mind and your perception, and it does it in imaginative ways. But when we really get to the gruesome horror, damn, does it sting. It really does. The idea that our bodies are just meat, vessels, right? And when a ghostly entity really takes it over and takes control of it, damn, dude. Let's just put it this way. The skin and bones, well, they're very easily breakable. Okay, they are, man. And damn, does that really produce a hell of a lot of pain and torment and torture that you do not see coming, man. Moments where I was literally in the movie theater, I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Jesus Christ, they do that to this little kid. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it really goes for it and really does hit you with a gut punch, even though it is few and far between. But I think that makes it more effective, right? If you have it throughout the film, yes, it still can be really well done. You look at something like Evil Dead 2, but nowadays, you really have to pick your poison, right? You really have to know where to put it within a film to really give you the maximum intensity, the maximum scare factor, the maximum horrific moment where people are going to be stunned and mouth agape with shock. And Talk to Me does that. Like I said, it has those slow burn moments, but then it really hits you, man. And damn, does it really go for the throat in the best way possible, dude. Look, this movie was unpredictable. It had moments that I did not see coming, characters that I really cared for, and a really great, interesting idea of exploring the unknown and the uncertainty, and how just because you think you might have an idea, well, think again. Think again indeed, man. This was smart, it was clever, it was creative, and it was horrific in all the right areas, man. Horror has had its ups and downs this year, its off moments, and its more surprising and really entertaining times. And Talk to Me is one of those movies for the year 2023 that hits you in all the right horrific and scary ways. Transformers more than meets the eye. Well, maybe back in the day. I'm not so sure now. I'm really not, man. With Transformers Rise of the Beasts, the 4K digital for $29.99, the Blu-ray digital for $24.99, and the DVD for $19.99. You know, I thought I'd never see the day where the Transformers franchise feels old and tired and has been. But we're here, man. We really are, dude. And I really kind of ultimately feel bad for this movie because it's not outright terrible. It's just one of those ones where you're like, I've seen all the other Transformers movies and it's just doing the same goddamn thing. I mean, maybe doing it slightly better and you can actually see the action and, well, I'm not saying you really care for the characters, but, I mean, at least they're not annoying like Shia LaBeouf or Megan Fox. So there is that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, look, dude, it's really tough with this franchise because I feel like Michael Bay just took a giant dump on this series, man. And I know some of y'all out there really like the Michael Bay Transformers movies, but they did not do this series any favors, man. They really didn't. I mean, yes, they're big budget spectacles with huge action scenes and explosions all over the fucking place, and literally Transformer action where good luck trying to find out who the fuck is the good guy and the bad guy, because literally sometimes you can't even tell the difference. Man, okay? It's just a hodgepodge and a complete mess of metal just colliding with one another. And I'm like, okay, I'm rooting for the Autobot. Which one is he? Like, seriously, man. And what really sucks is I kind of feel like we're trying to course correct at this point, because Bumblebee was such a good movie, dude. I mean, I really like Bumblebee, man. I thought that movie was actually really solid. But unfortunately, at that point, we had got beaten to death by the Michael Bay movies, and with the piss and the shit and the fart jokes and Transformers that were literally being demeaned and watered down, and you barely even fucking cared about them, and pretty people that are getting out of these wild situations where you're like, oh, come the fuck on, really? I mean, to me, you can make a great Transformers movie. Bumblebee proves that you can have a lot of heart and great characters and really solid action scenes, but I just kind of feel like at this point, nobody kind of gives a shit. In all honesty, Michael Bay turned this series into a joke with annoying characters like Shia LaBeouf that's going, no, 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 oh, no, 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 oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Literally, man, you know that I am right, dude. And then they decided, well, look, we're gonna ditch Shia LaBeouf and we're gonna go with Mark Wahlberg to bring in the beefy, studly, manly content, right? But I'm like, yeah, that may work in other movies, but dude, most of the time we're just caring about the Autobots and Decepticons. I mean, you can be buff all you want, Wahlberg, but that doesn't really help the cause. And really, nobody really cared that he was in these movies anyway. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, what these movies need, and what Bumblebee understood perfectly, was that it needed heart between the Autobots and the humans, and a real great emotional connection to really lean onto. Yeah, the action is fine, and yeah, big giant fucking robots fighting people is cool, don't get me wrong, but it's all for naught when you really don't get the core of the story right. And Michael Bay just never really understood it, man. I like Michael Bay, don't get me wrong, but these Transformers movies just aren't his bag, baby. Like, they really aren't, man. And I kind of feel like with this movie, they're still trying to go for the heart and the connection, but they just can't get away from what Michael Bay did to this series, man. And I am an old school Transformers fan. I am a G1 generation fan, and the old school animated stuff, the movies, the old school series, you name it. I am a fan of that. And I remember seeing the first Transformers movie, and I was so psyched. I was like, oh my god, they're making a live action Transformers movie. Oh, this is gonna be boss. I was so stoked. And then when I got out of the movie theater, I was like, well, that was good. It wasn't bad. And then the more I watched it, I was like, yeah, well, I thought it was good. And look, I still maintain that first Transformers movie isn't ultimately terrible, but it's not as good as it could be. But every subsequent sequel just kept getting more watered down and more ridiculous and over the top and more jokey. And it just was really just turning the Transformers into an absolute fucking joke, man. And now we're to the point where, well, we want to try to get away from it, but we're so used to that other shit that there's just no escaping it at this point, man. Maybe we just need to completely reboot this shit, right? Maybe we should just say, okay, dude, we're done, man. I mean, they try to bring in something cool with this, with the Maximals and the whole, like, cool, like, animal designs, and they're actually, like, the good guys, and they turn into, like, gorillas and hawks and all this sort of wild beasts and shit. Like, okay, that's cool, man. But it is kind of a little too late at this point, because all the goodwill is all gone. And nobody really gives a damn anymore, dude. And it's just a fucking shame, man. If you remember the height of popularity that the live action Transformers was and how stoked people were, to now this movie comes out and it's absolute crickets, man. It just fucking blows, man. And it really says more about the fact that when you make enough mediocre movies within a franchise, within a series, then no matter how much you try to course correct or put in new and exciting things, well, nobody will give a shit. And we are here with the Transformers franchise, man. And so, good luck going forward. God bless them, because I don't know what they do, but whatever they do, they got to get the stink from Michael Bay off of these flicks, and that's easier said than done. Look, Optimus Prime is awesome. Bumblebee, dude, is great. And the old school Transformers are really nostalgic, but that's the past. And the present, well, let's just put it this way. They done did these bots dirty, and it's gonna take a lot of car washes to clean them off. What if Hey, man, Creed. You know, back in the day, Christian Rock, you just had to be there. Oh, the Scream 3 soundtrack, man. Those were the good old days, baby. The 4K digital of Scream 3 for $24.99, man. God damn, it's kind of crazy to think that this is here at Target, dude. I mean, seriously, out of all the new releases, we've got Scream 3. I mean, I'm not complaining because it's horror goodness, but it just is kind of weird what Target has or doesn't have. Total conundrum when it comes to Target, let me tell you, baby. Let me tell you indeed. But who can deny some Wes Craven goodness, some trilogy love? Oh, man. I really do enjoy Scream 3. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that really think that this is the lesser of the series, and they're like, dude, compared to the other movies, Scream 3 isn't so hot. Okay, you've got moments where you're right. Okay, it is a little bit jokey at moments, kind of breaks the tension at times, and some of the characters aren't exactly the most well-rounded, and yeah, let's be honest, not the best Courtney Cox look of all time. Man, those bangs, she still gets shit for that to this day, man. She seriously does, dude. So, yeah, there's issues here and there with Scream 3, but I've got to admit to you, man, to me, I think it's a great send-off for the Scream series. And I know you're thinking, well, Seth, look, there's Scream 4, and there's Scream 5, and there's Scream 6, and there's going to be a Scream 7. Okay, I know, all right, but for me, this is where it ends, ultimately. I don't really need the other ones in the series. I mean, yeah, they're cool what-ifs and everything, but I like the idea that this really brings it full circle with Sydney's family and her mother and the connections to Billy and where it all started in the first Scream movie. And I really thought, ultimately, the killer's motivation in this movie, to me, was rock solid, and it really goes back even before the first movie even started, and those motivations of family and isolation and revenge, and how decisions that you make years ago in your life come back to haunt you. And I love that stuff, man. And I thought it was really powerful stuff. And I love Neve Campbell in here. I love how she's isolated at first and really comes out of hiding to finally confront her fears once and for all. I love the Dewey storyline and Gale. And I love really the spoofing of Hollywood and the spoofing of the Scream movies themselves, and how these people are caricatures of what those survivors were long ago, man. I thought it was actually really clever and pretty interesting, and actually a really great sort of look back at the series, and yet a really great respect for it as well, man. Yeah, there's some jokes in there that kind of feel a little odd at times, like why is Jay and Silent Bob there necessarily? I mean, I didn't mind it, but I was like, what? Certain comedic moments where it just comes out of nowhere, you're like, okay, well, I guess I just want to do the cameo for cameo's sake. And of course, we needed Randy to come in one last time through VHS tape, because why the fuck not, man? And him telling the rules of a trilogy and ending the trilogy, and how anybody can go at any moment and there are no rules and all the rules are going to be broken, and I love that shit, man. I mean, for me, there's just really great callbacks to the other two films and these characters' journeys and everything that they've gone through over these past films and the trauma that they've dealt with, and finally dealing with it head on, especially for Sydney and the past sins of her mother. Dude, I thought it was really great. Yeah, you can complain about certain characters and certain moments, but I thought overall, even though it's not as good as Scream, and I'd argue not as good as Scream 2, I still thought it was a really great capper to a trilogy that I was very happy with. At the end, I really liked how these characters really get to come back together one last time and perhaps maybe get over their fear of Ghostface and the unknown, man. I really dug that a lot, dude. It's not perfect. Not many horror trilogies really are at the end of the day. There's always something to complain or nitpick about. Lord knows I've done it a time or two. Okay, I have. I'll freely admit it. I'm guilty of it, okay? But there is some series that really do deserve that shit, okay? Let's fully be honest with ourselves, okay? There really is, man. But for the most part, I tend to think, at least with these three films, that the Scream series has maintained the quality. Maybe not as good as that original, but I think most of the time, whether we're talking about the killers, the kills, the characters, the story, most of the time it's been rock fucking solid. And it was just nice to see Wes Craven really finish out this trilogy and really continue this franchise and end it on his terms, something that he wasn't really able to do with Nightmare on Elm Street. So sometimes series don't always end out the way you want them to. Sometimes they end up being a little bit more watered down, lesser than, and sure, Scream has had those moments. Scream 3 isn't technically the peak of the series, that's for damn sure, but I think for the most part, I think it at least finishes with a little bit of dignity. Something that some franchises can't really say. Unfortunately, they continued it to lesser extent over and over and over again, but hey, for me, Scream 3 is where it ends, and Woodsboro is safe. Well, for now. For now, indeed, man. Can't say forever, but, well, if you end at 3, you ended on the right note. That's if you do. I do. But, you know, I'm cool like that. I don't know about that, but hey, I know where my limits are. Just put it that way, man. But, hey, limits, well, they kind of are that way for Target, because they really didn't have much physical media this week. They had just enough, which ain't half bad. Could have been a bit better, but it still did the trick. Let's head out. Well, I suppose you've done the trick, Target. Well, kinda, sorta. I mean, you had some of the hot new releases like Transformers, but then again, everybody has that shit. But, you did have Talk to Me, which was cool. But what about some of the other ones, like Prey or Strays? And again, Target is very family friendly, so if you really think they were going to have the Naughty Dog movie, you were sadly mistaken. You really were, dude. But hey, well, wishful thinking, I suppose. But they could have had a wee bit more. That would have been nice. But Well, I'll take what I can get with Target these days, considering they've got rid of a lot of the physical media already. And since they have that one lonely island over there, you just gotta take what you can get from certain places, and Target is one of them. I'm not exactly sure it makes me a very happy physical media boy, but, well, I'll settle. I suppose so. But hey, they still tried. Not quite giving an A for effort, but maybe C minus? Hey, it's still a passing grade after all. Just saying. I think they'll settle for the C minus. Trust me, it could be a hell of a lot lower, alright? It really can, man. But, well, at least we saw some physical media. Not enough, but it is what it is. How about we go to more locations where hopefully there is more physical media? Hopefully.
All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in, probably not have anything, but hey, still going to give it a go. Try, power of positivity, and if they do have something, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it out to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I gotta talk about a trailer with you guys, and, you know, sometimes you just want to see people get fucked up. You really do, and if that's the case, you be calling Jason Statham for that shit. Oh, you truly are in The Beekeeper, coming January of 2024, and, you know, I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about the name, The Beekeeper, and I'm like thinking, oh, isn't that nice? Like, Jason Statham is gonna try to go for his Oscar and his dramatic award-winning chops, and it's probably a very great drama love story about this man really trying to find himself and the honor of being a beekeeper. And I started watching the trailer. I'm like, no, he's just beating the shit out of people. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, same old Jason Statham, but I can't quite say I blame him, you know, don't fix it if it ain't broken. You know what I'm saying, man? So, look, basically from the trailer, he plays this kindly beekeeper, this guy that helps his lady out, chick from the Cosby Show, I think it is. And basically, she gets scammed out of all of her money, and she's so depressed, she's messed up that she just fucking kills herself. And this is a chick that's been, like, really kind to him and nice and helped him out. And he's like, I want to find whoever messed her up, whoever really stole the money and really caused her to do this. I want to just take them all out, man. No mercy. There is no sympathy. These guys deserve pain and torment, and I'm giving it to them. Okay, that's it, dude. And I got to admit, like, he is just on a rampage in this fucking trailer, man. It don't matter whether it's the FBI, it's the army, if it's these fucking weak-ass punks. He don't give a shit, man. He is killing everybody, baby. Like, my God, man, whoever gets in his way, God bless them, because either they're going in a body bag or they're getting intensive care treatment, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. And I just love it. The idea that he's exposing these evil motherfuckers, these twisted human beings that would do these terrible things to human beings, and just going higher up on the food chain until he gets to the one that did it all, man. And it's just crazy. It looks great to me, though. I mean, I got to admit, look, I like badass Statham. And movies like Wrath of Man or some of the really early stuff that he did, dude, I just love him kicking ass, man. He's one of the last people in cinema that I can really say that about him. He reminds me of old school people back in the day, like Seagal, like Van Damme, like those people that you just liked seeing them kick people's ass, man, and the fucking vengeance and justice of it. You love that shit. And this seems to be another kick-ass entry in that. On top of that, I mean, you've got actors like Jeremy Irons in here, Minnie Driver, who I haven't seen in a long-ass time. This is cool to see them in here, too. And directed by David Ayer. And I know, look, David Ayer has kind of been shit on in recent years. Look, Suicide Squad was not good, all right? Fair. Tax Collector wasn't that great. But look, movies like Fury and End of Watch and so many other Street Kings. He was a great director, still is, depending on the right project. And I think this really great badass revenge vengeance tale with Statham just kicking everybody's ass, I think is the right medicine to get back on the righteous action train. Don't you think? I really do, man. It looks good to me. It really does. And look, I understand it's coming out in January, and January is a dumping ground for shitty movies, but sometimes you just want people to get killed and beaten up in brutal ways. And if you want somebody to do that, yeah, I guess you can still get Stallone. He's getting up there in years. But you know what? I think the recipe for success is Statham. And I think this movie is going to prove it. I really do, man. What do you think about that? Are you looking forward to this? Or are you like, oh, it's just every friggin' Jason Statham movie? But then again, hey, sometimes you just want him to kick people's asses. Just saying, man. Definitely let me know what you think about that. But what about the second Walmart? Will there actually be anything worth checking out? I'm not so sure, but how about we go and check it out?
All right, everybody, in at the good old second Walmart. Yeah, I wasn't really anticipating it. It wasn't really indeed, because I was like, okay, there's actually a decent amount of media, man. We've got some really great 4K upgrades, and we've got some movies that were in streaming hell that is finally getting the physical media love, and big Hollywood blockbusters. We've got a lot of stuff this week, some decent variety, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, that means that with good variety means hopefully second Walmart is going to deliver. And well, even though I was hoping and praying, and believe me, oh, I definitely was, yeah, think again. Think again indeed, man. Seriously, yet again am I so ever lovingly disappointed. It seems like this is just a running gag over and over and over again, week after week after week, and yet another week of full-on disappointment. And it's just bad because there's really nothing new here as far as indie love to show off at all. On top of that, it's an absolute mess. Everything all over the place and just thrown together. It's really bad, dude. Really, really bad indeed. So Walmart really has to get their shit together, because the first Walmart is really putting out some physical media, doing their due diligence, and this one has gone down the shitter, the crapper badly, dude. So maybe one day they'll get their stuff together. I'd hope sooner rather than later, but I guess only time will tell. Until then, well, there's nothing really worth sticking around here for, so let's go check out more physical media someplace else, because this place sure as shit don't got it. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and when it comes to exploring physical media, going on the journey, on the adventure to every retail location, finding every little bit of media that we possibly can, sometimes we have to realize that the best place we can find it is at a bookstore. I know. I'm in shock too. Oh, you bet your ass I am. When we are at none other than, yes, Barnes and Nobles, baby. B&N back for more physical media hijinks, and hopefully it's a good one. Barnes and Nobles has been pretty solid as of late, and let's hope the streak continues. Let's go in and check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at Barnes & Nobles under the new releases, well-featured titles, and as far as I'm seeing, I don't see any love over here, but just because you don't see some on this side doesn't mean there isn't any on this side. Yeah, because it looks like there's a hell of a lot of release love that I'm seeing over here. How about we dive in with none other than another installment of the war between Autobots and Decepticons. Because just when you think it's over, well, think again. In Transformers Rise of the Beast, the Blu-ray digital for $35.99, the DVD for $28.99. With those prices, that'll just save up for a car. You might just get lucky and it can turn into an Autobot or Decepticon. It might be a better experience than watching the movie. It just might be. I mean, truth be told, look, I've said it many times over now, but it is ultimately better than a lot of the other films. But according to the audiences and box office, well, yeah, it seems like they've had enough of it. Look, this thing didn't do nearly as well as a lot of the other movies, and quite frankly, it lost money, a lot of money at that, man. And really, where is the franchise going at this moment in time? I thought that Bumblebee was supposed to be kind of like a soft reboot, but now not so much. I have no idea, man. It's so topsy-turvy at this point. Look, it's still Transformers. It is still intellectual property. It still is major media IP. So of course they're gonna make more of these movies, man. If you think that this movie is the last of the Transformers franchise, man, think again, dude. Seriously, you be dead ass wrong, because there is no way in hell that they are just going to leave sleeping dogs lie. With such big popularity that Transformers still is, to just walk away from it would be stupid. So I ultimately don't know at the end of the day where we're going. I fully expect to see another movie. I just don't know how long it's going to be and in what form it's going to be in. I mean, ultimately, if I was them, why not try an animated movie? I mean, seriously, I know that we're so dived into the live action stuff at this point, but a really solid animated movie, I mean, really, really well fucking done, could really be the thing that brings this to prominence and jumpstart the franchise again in a really positive way. Potentially, I don't know. I mean, do you go back to Michael Bay? Do you say, hey, dude, here's a truckload of money, make another Transformers movie? I mean, maybe, but I don't want to go down the Michael Bay franchise train again. I really don't want to do that, dude. So I don't know. At the end of the day, maybe just completely reboot this thing, or just wait it out for another 10 years and then bring it back again. Something like that. Look, Transformers will ultimately always be popular, man, with a lot of the stuff for kids these days, and the movies will always get cycled through with teenagers and young adults and everything, so there's always going to be an audience for it, but it has died down because you have watered down this franchise way too fucking much with a lot of the stupid jokes and the idiotic characters and the unintelligible action where you're just like, I think that's Optimus. I mean, I can kind of see his arm. I mean, that's kind of what it's become at this point. And, you know, I think at this point, audiences are kind of just transformered out at this point. I really do, man. And even though John and I, when we saw it, can fully admit that it is slightly better, it still feels like been there, done that. You really need to revitalize it, or just wait until the opportune moment where people are really jonesing for another Transformers resurgence and then bring it back big time. Whatever you do with it, just do it better than what Michael Bay has done. Do it better than some of the just asinine blockbuster hijinks that we've seen over and over again with this franchise that has really done it no favors whatsoever. Look, I like these characters, I like Cybertron, I like the legacy of these characters and the story and the plot points and the mythology. Like, that's all cool, but package it in a better way. And unfortunately, outside of Bumblebee and maybe a little bit of the first movie, I don't think anyone has really done it as good as Generation 1 way back in the day. And that Generation 1 movie, that animated movie, that was so fucking fantastic, dude. So, look, all things considered, hey, man, it could be worse. But then again, it could be a hell of a lot better, man. This is average at best, milquetoast, and really nothing that you haven't seen like 4 or 5, 6 times already, dude, okay? If you love Transformers, you're gonna love it. If you're not a big fan of Transformers, it's not gonna really sway you one way or another. And if you were kind of thinking about getting off the train, this ain't gonna bring you back on either. Just saying, man. Good, but not great. And a game changer, it definitely isn't, man. I mean, you have the diving deeper into the world of Transformers Rise of the Beast with exhilarating special features, included deleted and extended scenes. Oh, great. more of Pete Davidson's Autobot that I really couldn't fucking stand. God, man, if I have to hear his voice coming out of an Autobot one more goddamn time, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it. Jesus Christ, I'm like, yeah, get one of the most annoying actors on the fucking planet to play a good guy. Yeah, that's really gonna make me sympathize. What the fuck, man? Seriously, Jesus, dude. Look, man, I think there's things in here to really celebrate. I think there's moments here to really champion, but been there, done that, and too little, too late is ultimately the tagline that I would give to Rise of the Beast, alright? I hate to say it, but in a few years' time, we're probably going to get another Transformers movie. And, well, seeing where this franchise has been heading for years, yeah, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. Are you? And you thought humping the couch was the worst of your worries. With these pets, I think again. Jesus, and Strays. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $36. The DVD for $30. Damn, man. Just spay and neuter your pets. You might get more mileage out of it. You might indeed. Damn, these prices, dude. What the hell, man? Shit. And I like the movie, so, you know, that's saying something with these type of prices. Yo, man, seriously, dude. But look, the one thing that this movie has going for it ultimately is the fact that it is a little bit naughty. It is raunchy. It's not your typical dog movie at the end of the day. And I think in recent years, it kind of feels like we're heading towards a lot more risque comedy, right? The fact that we've done so much of the standard norm stuff, and now we're like, you know what, dude, we need to spice it up. We need to really hit audiences where they haven't really seen this type of comedy before, man. We really need to go hardcore with it, man. Gross out and rude and in your face and a little bit non-PC, which again is fine with me because, to be honest with you, I kind of think we need to do that, man. I mean, look, as much as I love old school comedies, I've told you guys so many times before that some of the new school shit is pretty fucking tame. And at times you're just like, come on, man, just go for it, will ya? And at the very least, Strays does that. But then again, it's not the only one to have done it. Yes, there's more that definitely Strays is aping off of, man. What about movies like Good Boys? You remember that one? Actually, Good Boys wasn't bad. I don't think it was all that great, but it had some good comedic moments that I actually kind of liked, man. It was just a concept of, you think they're all sweet and innocent? Boy, the things that you have no idea, man. And I liked it, and they took advantage of that in certain times where you're like, damn, man, they really be doing that with little kids? Shit. Oh, man. Or even think of a movie like Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy. I was in the movie theater with that, and I think I wanted to be just because I remember the old school days of The Muppets and Sesame Street and everything like that, and to see these sort of Muppet-style characters being incredibly raunchy and naughty and very sexual was like, oh my god, man. That was like, okay, this is definitely not your grandpa's Muppets. It definitely wasn't, dude. And again, that was another one that really went for it, and I'd argue that kind of 50-50. Some of the jokes really landed and some of them didn't. It was kind of half and half, all things considered, most of the time. Or even think of a movie like Sausage Party. Oh my lord, man. Dude, talk about a movie that got so much fucking controversy. I mean, Happy Time Murders got controversy too, and I suppose Good Boys did as well, but oh my god, man, Sausage Party. Yo, that movie, man. People were really ripping that movie because, again, it looks like a standard kids animated movie, but once you watch it, it's anything but. Oh my god, man. Some of the humor in that is like, okay, man, they did not care who they fucking offended. They were going for it, man. And I actually appreciate it. And I think out of all the ones that I mentioned so far, that one is the one that really, really just did the comedy pretty well, man. They knew what they were going for. They knew what they wanted to at least pull off, and man, they really did, dude. And actually, there is some kids that ended up watching that simply because, hey, look, it looks like a cool little kids animated movie. And damn, did they learn about the birds and the bees in all the wrong ways. They really did, man. I still contend that is really a solid comedic, really one of the better ones in recent memory. Then again, I would argue, what about Team America World Police, which is a really solid comedy as well, man, and they ain't shying away from the hardcore stuff either, or even South Park, the movie, especially bigger, longer, and uncut. Man, they definitely know how to at least shock, if not, quite frankly, piss off audiences in all the right ways, man. That's some wild shit, dude. Or even Ted and Ted 2. I mean, they're trying to bring in a little bit of the heart, and obviously it's a bigger, more high-profile, raunchy comedy, but at the same time, it's definitely not pulling its punches either. I mean, come on. Who'd ever thought that your teddy bear would want to have sex with a grocery store chick with a parsnip? I certainly didn't. Oh my god, man. And all the comedy hijinks that came from it, dude. I think people really, really liked it because Ted was such a character that didn't give a fuck, man, and just said whatever was on his mind. And you're like, okay, man, if you're really gonna go for it, give us something dirty. Give us something raunchy, man. Give us something wrong. And they did at moments. Again, 50-50. Some of the comedy works and some of the comedy falls flat, but at least they were trying. I appreciate that. Or even a movie that has kind of been forgotten, actually, called Death to Smoochie. Do you remember that movie? It's around 2002, somewhere around there, dare I say, with Edward Norton and Robin Williams. That was actually a really great movie, man. I kind of remember it. It's still in the old memory bank. It really is. Basically, it's about Robin Williams' character who gets arrested and is, frankly, one hell of a dirtbag, and he gets canceled from his show, and they bring in Edward Norton, who has his own new children's entertainment character called Smoochie, and basically Robin Williams doesn't like the fact that he's more popular, and so he's like, dude, I'm gonna fucking sabotage his ass. And all of the gross out, raunchy, and wrong humor, man, for children's entertainment, man. God damn, dude. It is still pretty great to this day. And if you really think about it, it really apes off the idea of Sesame Street and Barney and Mr. Rogers and just says, yeah, these people that you think are all kinds of righteous and goody two-shoes are really anything but, man. They definitely not only know how to party, but maybe they like to get down with a little bit of drugs, sex, alcohol, and everything that kids should never know about. Actually, that is still really good, man, and I haven't revisited in a long time, and I definitely have to, man. That's one of the more underrated Robin Williams movies, dare I say. It's actually really, really fucking good, man, and the comedy is solid in that. So there's been a lot of raunchy, wrong, naughty style movies for quite a while now, so it's not like Strays is reinventing the wheel necessarily, but they're just adding on to the train. They really are, man. But I understand why comedy is going this way, dude. I get it, because at the end of the day, comedy has kind of become a little limp dick, man. I mean, it kind of has. I mean, no offense to some of the other comedies out there that have tried. Like The Machine has moments where it's kind of comedic, or No Hard Feelings, which has moments as well, but you really need to hit the audience with a gut punch, man. Just something that they haven't fucking seen before, that they're like, oh my god, man, this is crazy wild. I've got to go see this. I've got to go tell my friends about it. That's what ultimately is going to bring people to the dance. And I think that's why you see movies like Strays or Good Boys or Sausage Party. You see a lot of those movies out there because you need to up the ante in comedy. It's the same thing with horror, it's the same thing with sci-fi, drama, you name it. We've seen so many movies now, so many times over, that we've had that, been there, done that mentality, that you need to spice it up. And at the very least, they're doing that. So, you gotta give them credit for that, man. Look, I'll fully admit it, not every joke in this movie lands. Not every moment in here is a gut punch laugh. Sometimes it's a, yeah, on to the next joke, kind of thing like that. But at the very least, they're really just going and just taking it to the most ridiculous, over-the-top levels you could possibly imagine. All those great, lovely, wonderful dog movies that we all cherish and weep over, they're basically saying, yeah, those are cool, but, what about the peeing and the humping and the eating shrooms and shit? They left that out of Marley and Me. They did indeed, dude, but Strays makes sure that it's representing in a big bad way, man. It truly does. What do you think about this? Do you think that it's good that we're going this far down the rabbit hole with comedy, or do you think that we do need to reel it back a bit? It's tough to say, because if you go too far over the top, if you go too extreme, then it's hard to really bring it back to a place where you can make a comedy for everybody and still make it really hilarious and funny and entertaining. But if you just do the same old all the time, then no one's gonna give a shit. So there is a little bit of in between to it, but I gotta give Strays credit, because in a world where comedy is a little bit safe, they're definitely not playing it that way. Oh, they're definitely not indeed, man. You've got Talk Like a Dog, the ultimate treat, poop, booms, and shrooms. Oh, that's great, man. Look, at the end of the day, I love a good dog movie. I truly do. I think we all do, man. Dogs are precious, and they're loyal, and they're man's best friend for a reason. But that doesn't mean that they don't have a little bit of thoughts that stray from the cute and cuddly. And Strays shows that, well, what you don't know might be more entertaining than you can ever possibly imagine. You're one ugly motherfucker. Oh, well, we already knew that one, but hey, he might not be the most attractive, but damn, can he beat your ass? Yeah, hell yeah, he can. It just takes the right chick to tame him. Yeah, indeed it does. And she's definitely proven her worth in Prey, the Blu-ray for... What the fuck? Wait where's the rest of the fucking movie? Holy shit, did somebody just literally steal it? Did they not want the slipcover? Okay. I think this is the first time I've ever seen that. So, hey, the slipcover of Prey is $37. Well, to be honest with you, slipcovers go for a hell of a lot more on eBay, so that's kind of a steal. What the hell? Okay, we'll just leave that right there, but they do have the DVD for $30. Nice. Well, you actually get the case and the disc. That's a bargain, folks. Indeed it is, man, because you actually get the physical media. Oh, which ain't half bad, man. And the fact that this is out on physical media again just blows my mind, because, look, let's be honest here. The Predator franchise has been on the wane for a really, really long time. Okay, look, that first Predator movie with Arnold is fucking badass. It's classic. It still is awesome to this day. Nobody is gonna deny that, okay? Nobody. And if you do, well, yeah, you and I are gonna have to go mano a mano, because I ain't having that shit. Alright, I'm really not, man. That movie is fucking fantastic, brilliant, great. And come on, the one-liners are so fucking awesome. They're really great, dude. And the machismo dripping off the fucking screen, man. Whether it's Schwarzenegger or Jesse the Body Ventura, you name it, man. Everybody, Bill Duger, everyone's like wanting to pour more fake sweat on them and bulge their muscle and shit, man. Prove they're more badass and more manly than the other one. Dude, you gotta love the 80s. You really do, man. And then there was Predator 2. Now, see, depending on who you talk to, Predator 2 is either really fucking good, incredibly underrated, or kind of a piece of shit. Alright? And for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really love Predator 2, man. I love being in a city setting with the heat and the crime spree that's going on, and how the Predator is really thriving in that world, and how Danny Glover is this no-nonsense cop who has to take down the Predator and shit. I really dug that. I actually thought it was quite good, way better than it had any right to be. And I know people wanted Schwarzenegger to come back and fight the Predator again, and that would have been kick-ass, don't get me wrong, but I just love this no-nonsense, gritty-as-hell cop who deals with these scumbags and drug dealers and voodoo priests and shit, and now he has to up the ante dealing with, well, in his words, pussy face. Dude, that's one of the best lines in the fucking movie. I love that shit. When he calls him that, I'm like, oh my god, damn, man, Danny Glover just brought it. Like, oh, he really did, man. I thought the kills were great, and I love revealing more of the Predator's weaponry. Man, I thought there was some cool, great mythology building in that movie as well, man. And what really made me even more of a believer in this series, I would say, somebody who saw the possibilities, was at the end of Predator 2 when he's fighting the Predator and wins, and there's all these other Predators that are on the ship and are confronting him. They give him a prize for being the champion, for winning, essentially. And it's this old style gun from like the 1700s. And I thought, oh my god, they've been on this planet for a really, really, really long fucking time. And they have fought other people. They have been among us without us ever even knowing. And I'm like, oh my god, the possibilities and the stories. And I'm like, my god, we could go any place with this. It's incredible. The problem is Predator 2 failed at the box office and failed hard, so any idea of going forward with a third film for at least a long while was never gonna happen, which is a goddamn shame, man. But then we finally got back to the franchise with Alien vs. Predator. Yeah. That dumpster fire. Okay, look. In all honesty, Alien vs. Predator is not terrible, right? It's not absolute garbage, but when you thought of Alien vs. Predator, when you had that in your mind, boy, you thought of a way better film than what you got. Let's be honest, man. I mean, Freddy vs. Jason was really popular, and that made a lot of money, so everyone's like, ooh, what's the next Versus film? Dude, Alien vs. Predator, like, that shit just writes itself, right? Well, you'd think. I mean, I thought the action was terrible. I thought the kills were god-awful, man. I couldn't give a shit about none of the fucking characters, and the Predators seemed limp dick, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Dude, this was like a fanboy's wet dream that basically turned into a fucking nightmare. God, it really was, man. And of course, AVP Requiem certainly wasn't any better, okay? Or as I like to call it, AVP Rectum, because, boy, they stuck it up our ass. They really did, man. AVP Requiem is terrible. God, that movie is a fucking piece of shit. That truly is a really bad film, even worse than Alien vs. Predator. And man, I didn't think I'd ever see the day where I could say that, but man, the bar just got lowered even more. Shit, dude. Yeah, man, that movie is just really incoherent. On top of that, you can barely see anything. Dude, when I bought the fucking DVD way back in the day, I thought there was a problem with my TV. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I took the settings and I upped the color setting because I thought my TV was like dying or some shit because I barely could see anything. I'm like, dude, this is all fucking black. Until I realized, no, that's everybody. Like, dude, that's just how they filmed the movie. You could barely see any fucking thing on the screen. No action, no characters, no predators. It was fucking abysmal. And you're like, damn, dude. Like, I thought it was my ass. No, it's just really shitty. Exactly. And don't even get me started with the Pred Alien. My God, man, you had such great hopes and dreams of how cool the Pred Alien was gonna look. And man, did they fall flat on that shit too, dude. God, that movie is fucking hot garbage, man. Oh, that's fucking terrible. But then, they thought, well, we'll wash the bad taste out of that with Predators, with Adrian Brody, man. Okay, so look, I will fully admit Predators is better than Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Rectum, okay? It absolutely is. But that's not really saying much either because, I don't know, I never really liked that movie. I kind of felt like it wasn't as badass as it could have been. The idea that you bring these great killers and hunters from Earth over to the Predator world, or at least one of the Predator worlds, and they're hunting them for sport, and there's the whole survival angle and how they really have to turn the tables on the Predators. I thought that would be really cool, but I thought a lot of the characters were fucking limp dick, man. I'm like, geez, these are the best we got? Shit, man, if this is the Olympics of killing, damn it, we ain't even gonna get the bronze. Like, fuck, dude, we're fucked. Oh my God, man. And don't get me started with the whole, like, Lawrence Fishburne whacked out character, man. Fucking hell, dude. Jesus Christ, that movie kind of wasn't terrible, but Jesus Christ, was it kind of a letdown, man. I mean, more badass, yes, but not much more, to be honest with you, dude. And the idea of an even worse Predator, and I'm like, okay, fine. The infighting of Predators among the fighting of the other Predators that we're going up against, and the Predators have to team up with the other ones in order to survive the bigger Predators. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what, really? We're gonna fucking complicate this shit even more? Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, I was having none of it. But then, years later, they're like, well, we're gonna come back again, and we're gonna do even more crazier mythological Predator goodness with The Predator. Yeah, oh man, directed by Shane Black, which, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay, a lot of people don't like that movie. Okay, I get it. I actually do kind of enjoy that movie, no lie, man. I know, it's crazy over fucking complicated, and a lot of the characters are just stock characters from previous Predator installments where you're like, okay, this is the jokey one, this is the badass one, this is the scientist one. Okay, you kind of see everything coming a mile away. I get it. But I thought the Predator action was actually really cool. I like the design and look of the Predator. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the mythology and the weaponry shit was pretty cool too. So I'm like, okay, I kind of dug it, man. And look, I got a lot of shit for liking that movie, okay? Whether it was through some of the guys or some of the other people who commented when I talked about that movie a long time ago on one of the out and abouts, man. People were like, really? You like that shit? I'm like, I know. I get it. Can we move on, please? But I still kind of stand by liking that movie, man. I mean, I own it. It's in the collection for good or bad, but I think for me, it was, at that point in time, the third best Predator movie, right? It's Predator, Predator 2, and then The Predator. And everything else I just wasn't really a fan of. But that's just me. I kind of liked it. It sort of catered to my Predator sensibilities, okay? Put it that way. But that movie was a huge fucking flop, man. There was supposed to be sequels and huge franchise opportunities with that movie. And when it really kicked the bucket, man, I think a lot of fans were like, no, that's the end of that, man. I mean, they had so much things that they wanted to do, whether it was bringing back Arnold Schwarzenegger or even more team-ups with the Predator or attacking them on their home world. I mean, there was so many thoughts that studio executives and even other filmmakers and writers were like, oh, this is all the opportunities now. This is the movie that's gonna get them back, baby. And yeah, nope. Nope, no way, no how, man, not even close. So for a long time, it just lay dormant. Nobody really gave a shit, dude, until Prey just came and kind of sneakily opened the door, man. And I gotta admit, it just worked because you kept it simple, you kept it effective, you didn't overcomplicate it, and you made it this great survival of the fittest tale, and it really worked out well, dude. And to me, what Prey really does perfectly is that it really capitalizes on the fact of you can put the Predator in any setting and really make an effective movie if you really give it that great killer instinct survival mentality that you really need from a Predator movie. I mean, this opened the possibilities to having the Predators in ancient Rome or in feudal Japan. I mean, there's so many great ideas of putting a Predator in a certain survival setting against a certain group of people and seeing what they would do in that situation, man. And it just really has opened the door for creativity and imagination, and I think really has brought people back to the dance for Predator in a way that a lot of the other sequels was never able to do, man. And I think when you look back at that first movie, what makes that first movie really still genuinely an effective action spectacular sci-fi flick is the fact of you didn't overcomplicate it with all the crazy mythology or multiple different predators or the political ramifications or having a team up versus the fucking aliens. I mean, you don't need to go crazy over the top. You just need people in a fucking jungle setting that are going up against the worst enemy that they've ever seen possible, and something that is really the most formidable foe ever, and trying to survive, and the action that goes along with that. And if you do it really well, you can make it really effective and pulse pounding and thrilling, and that first Predator really proved it, and I think Prey proves it as well, man. And so look, when I hear things about them doing a potential sequel for Prey, I'm down. When I hear about other opportunities perhaps to really open up the floodgates for other Predator movies to take advantage of so many other storylines in so many different eras, I'm down for it, man. We need to get back to gritty sci-fi action, man. And the Predator franchise is perfect for that. I just kind of feel like we've dropped the ball so many fucking times that fans at this point are kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever you say. I mean, that's pretty much what fans are now. They're kind of just over it. And I think Prey really said to a lot of fans, look, man, we know what makes this franchise good. We hear you. We get it. And we're going to represent. And that's what Prey did. And thank the fucking Lord for that, man. I really dug it so fucking much, man. And if they keep making movies like Prey, consider this franchise re-energized in the best way possible, man. I'm just saying, dude. I don't know if they're going to actually do that, because let's be honest, franchises, even when they get a second chance at life, don't always get it right. So we'll see what happens. The future is bright, but it's only as bright as long as the movies are good. That's the conundrum. That's the ultimate issue, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see now, won't we? But in the meantime, they have a full-length Comanche audio track, but I don't see anything else. No other special features. Really? Thought there'd be more. Well, that's the DVD. Let's try the vacant Blu-ray slipcover here, Ooh, yes, you do have more. You have Making of Prey, the FYC panel, deleted and alternate opening. Oh, and audio commentary, too. Not so bad. So the Blu-ray and the 4K has more than the DVD. I mean, if you just only care about the movie itself, then hey, the DVD is fine, but I love my special features, baby. Oh, indeed I do, man. Not bad. But look, at the end of the day, let's all be real here that this franchise was dead. I mean, completely dead in the water. Nobody gave a shit about it anymore. And this little film proves that with the right approach, you can revitalize any franchise. You hear that, Transformers? There's hope for you yet. There is indeed. You know, the right approach can make anything good. And Prey proves that, well, try, and try again. Eventually you'll succeed. But keep it simple, stupid, and have some kick-ass action and a badass villain, and it's a recipe for genre and franchise success. But then again, who doesn't love a little bit of thick drama in The Crown? The complete 5th season for $56. Well, look, if you thought the royal family was cheap, think again. Oh, seriously, man. Look, I have never seen a single episode of The Crown, but I have heard amazing things, man. People who I had known have watched it, family members and friends, and people are like, dude, The Crown is awesome. And I'm like, okay, maybe one day I have to. I got to admit, I'm intrigued by the royal family, and there's another part of me that's like, I really don't give a shit. I mean, I'm kind of half and half, dude. I think ultimately for historical purposes, it is fascinating, right? And all of the drama and the failures and the achievements and the backstabbings, and my God, man, it's very complicated with the family, isn't it? Jesus Christ, it really is, dude. And this is actually one of the more interesting times within the family, because this is the whole Princess Diana thing and the Charles stuff and the Queen and the animosity that they had with one another and the cheating and the deception and shit. Like, that's some juicy crap, dude. So I could see this being a very, very intriguing season, man. I really honestly can. And I just love seeing different actors coming into this series and taking on a new unique role. Like, different actors have played the Queen and different actors have played Diana, and I like how each of them brings a new flavor to it, man. And I think that would be kind of cool, dude. I'm actually kind of interested in this. I've heard it is a good season, at least from what I know, from what people have told me it's good. So maybe one of these days I can potentially give it a go. Is it worth it? I mean, look, the royal family has its problems, but I'm sure it makes for good television. At least I think it does. Let me know. Is it worth diving into it? Because, you know, not that I have a lot of time on my hands, but I could always take on a show if it's worth it. Definitely let me know on that, man. But here's what really intrigues me this week, man, is Quentin Tarantino, baby. Kill Bill Volume 1, Volume 2, and Jackie Brown. These are new Blu-ray editions that came out from Lionsgate, and I don't really know why necessarily, and why Blu-ray, because these movies have already hit on Blu-ray, so we're just re-putting out the same edition? Okay. I mean, seriously, if there was a new Quentin Tarantino movie coming out, or if they were promoting something else, that's cool, but these have just come out for the sake of just coming out. There's no rhyme or reason to it, folks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Quentin Tarantino love, and these are 3 great fucking Tarantino movies, but why Blu-ray, man? Why aren't these just coming out in 4K? I don't really understand it. It makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever, man. And also, with the Kill Bill movies, and look, I love both of them. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are awesome. But weren't we supposed to get a, like, big mega set, like, that combined both of the movies together? Wasn't that supposed to be a thing? And it, like, never materialized? like the whole Bloody Affair cut or something. If I remember correctly, it was supposed to be, which I was really looking forward to it. And then every year passed by and there was no mention of it. And I guess they just forgot or didn't give a shit. Something like that. I don't know, dude. I mean, I think the Kill Bill films are some of my favorite Tarantino of all time. I mean, they are bloody, gory, action fueled, and I love the quirky characters and the dialogue and the thick drama, man. It's so good, man. And look, Tarantino is a fan of those old Japanese flicks from way back in the day, Kurosawa and other really great directors of the day. And these movies are a really great homage to that, and also put his own spin on it as well. And he does it fantastically, man. And Uma Thurman, man, she is fucking awesome in these movies, man. She's great. In fact, I always argued that he should have done a Kill Bill Volume 3 years later, where her daughter is all grown up and she has to fight other people as well, and it sort of comes back around where people are getting revenge on the daughter for what Uma Thurman did back in the day. I thought that would have been really cool, man. And I think even Tarantino was considering it. At least I thought he was, and it didn't really become a thing, sadly enough, man. But it would have been really cool, dude. But I don't know if I'd buy the Blu-rays. I mean, the slipcovers are cool and everything, don't get me wrong, but like at this point, I don't know, just wait for the 4K, man, right? I mean, wouldn't that be just the better thing to do? Unless you don't care about the 4K and just want the Blu-ray, hey man, come to Barnes & Nobles and grab the shit. It is cool, man, to have it, but something tells me one of these days, if we're patient enough, we will get that big giant Kill Bill set. I'm still waiting, and one of these days it will pay off. I guarantee it. I do, man. But look, great Tarantino regardless. Just Blu-ray. Hey, it is what it is, man. But hey, cool slipcovers though. So there is that. And as far as Jackie Brown is concerned, man, I have always loved Jackie Brown. And it's kind of weird because when Jackie Brown came out, there was Reservoir Dogs and there was Pulp Fiction, and everybody was really looking forward to the next Tarantino movie, man. And the expectations were so fucking high. I mean, astronomical. That I don't know if any movie would have technically satisfied the fan base. And I think maybe they were hoping for something more akin to Pulp Fiction. And this movie wasn't doing that. It was trying to do something different. And I think Tarantino doesn't like to repeat himself over and over again. Yeah, he may do some things that are stylistically the same, and maybe, you know, certain characters or certain editing styles that might carry over a little bit here and there, but he tries to reinvent himself with every movie he does, and Jackie Brown is definitely one of those movies. But I love this flick, man, and I love Sam Jackson here. Robert Forster is fantastic. Robert De Niro is great. Pam Grier, I mean, seeing her again on the big screen after so long, man, you gotta understand, for me, as an old school cinema lover, growing up with some of those blaxploitation movies from back in the day, dude, she was like the queen. She was fantastic. So to see her again in such a badass role like this was fucking awesome. And the supporting cast of like Michael Keaton and Bridget Fonda and Robert De Niro was so good in this movie, and the dialogue and the drama and the deception. It was on the edge of your seat, man. I loved it, man. The blurring the lines between the good guys and the bad guys. I thought that was great, man. Well done, well played. I loved the story, and it just was a really great journey into more Tarantino madness. I think people were so hyped, and it didn't quite fulfill their Tarantino lust, but I think over the years, people have reevaluated and reappreciated this movie, and I'm kind of glad that they have, because, let's be honest, it is a pretty solid Tarantino flick. As good as Pulp Fiction? No. As good as Reservoir Dogs? Probably not. As good as Inglourious Basterds? Yeah, I doubt that too. As good as Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2? Okay, not really. Okay, man. Look, it's still really solid fucking Tarantino. It's not the bottom of the barrel. Maybe it's middle ground. But you know what? Still, middle ground Tarantino is better than a lot of the fucking garbage that is coming out nowadays. So I will take average middle ground Tarantino over anything. And let's put it this way, he definitely knows how to make really great, entertaining scumbag characters. And hey, with this film, I got it in spades. Go to bed on time, eat your vegetables, and be good to your parents, because if you're not, the boogeyman will get your ass. Oh yes, indeed it will. Trust me, he knows when you've been naughty. The DVD for $20. Actually, that's kind of fair for Barnes & Nobles. Man, what they've been smoking. Oh, well, hey, come on. It's Stephen King goodness, so it might as well be reasonably priced. You want everybody to enjoy a little bit of Stephen King love. Now, don't you? Absolutely. Who wouldn't, man? And Stephen King is as synonymous with horror as any mainstream actor or director that you know of, right? He's as popular as John Carpenter, Alfred Hitchcock, James Wan, Wes Craven, Vincent fucking Price. I mean, seriously, man. When you think of Stephen King, you think of horror because, well, that's what he's been fucking good at, man. That's his bread and butter, baby. And he continues to deliver, well, maybe not him, but other filmmakers who end up adapting his work, man. And let me tell you something. There's been so fucking many adaptations of Stephen King material. And, let's be real. Not every Stephen King movie or series is created equal, okay? Some are very, very well done, and others, quite frankly, don't make the grade, alright? But there is literally an endless list, whether we're talking about Maximum Overdrive, which, hey, that's totally on Steven, man. Yeah, I like the movie, but holy shit, man, that's quite the oddity of a mess, but entertaining, dare I say, man. I mean, of course, you've got The Shining, but then again, I'd argue, yes, the material came from Stephen King, but again, Stanley Kubrick, man, he was the one that molded that into such the iconic film that it was. And the fact that Stephen King at first didn't even like the fucking movie. He frankly hated it, but I think he's sort of grown to like it over the years. Old age has kind of softened him. It has, man. But then again, you look at stuff like Shawshank Redemption or The Mist. Oh, man, The Mist is fucking fantastic, man. Talk about a gut punch of horror. That is really, really solid. Of course, we can go with movies like Christine, which I love, John Carpenter classic, Sleepwalkers, which, yeah, is kind of cheesy for what it's worth, but again, I absolutely really dig it. Or what about It? I mean, come on, Pennywise has literally penetrated the zeitgeist culture, not once, but twice, with some very unique film adaptations that have definitely done the trick for the maestro of clown horror. Yes, man. Or The Stand, that really great miniseries that I really loved way back in the day. I love that one. Or even think about a really great movie like Cat's Eye, which is really awesome, man. Really great, cool little horror anthology that definitely has some great twists and turns. Creepshow, which you gotta hand it to not only him but George Romero together, combining their efforts, man. It became an instant horror classic. Indeed it did, man. And there's so many more that really is iconic and has really been staple for horror fans all around, whether it's in book form or movie form, you name it. And yes, not everyone hits the way you wanted to. Dreamcatcher, anybody? Yeah. It wasn't as good as I would have hoped it was, but hey, not everything hits it out of the park. But then again, it's not always about horror. You look at a movie like Stand By Me, which is so phenomenal. So I think it depends on the filmmakers. I think it depends on the material and how they adapt it. And sometimes filmmakers put their own unique twists on it. People like a Stanley Kubrick or a Rob Reiner. You look at a movie like Misery or Carrie, which is absolutely amazing. And look, Carrie's been adapted a ton of times over, and not every adaptation works incredibly well. Some are frankly kind of laughable, where that original one by Brian De Palma is amazing and incredibly impactful. So I think it starts ultimately with the material, right? It starts with Stephen King, and then you start to really pare it down into how to make a great horrific film adaptation within the material that Stephen King has presented you. And as I said before, it's not always roses. I mean, look at The Dark Tower, okay? I mean, that's a sprawling book series, and that first movie, I don't know whether it was really not quite grasping the characters enough or presenting it in a unique and fascinating and entertaining way that people really were gripped to the screen, but it just kind of failed to electrify audiences, man. And sometimes that happens. Look, it's not always going to be a success every single time. I mean, look at Pet Sematary. That original is amazing, and then the remake, not so much. Yeah. A for effort. Well, I don't know if I even say that. Look, man, I think Stephen King really has a incredibly unique and out there mind that has come up with some amazing scenarios and stories that you would have never thought anyone in the history of the world could have even thought of. Then again, the drugs didn't hurt either. Okay, cocaine and peyote and all that jazz. Look, Stephen King has ingested a lot of shit. All right, and it may or may not have influenced his writing just a wee bit, man, but I think we're all kind of better off for it, right? Yeah, we kind of are, man. And I think The Boogeyman is another one of those unique and interesting adaptations that I don't think ultimately ends up fully 100% succeeding, but at the end of the day, though, man, I think when it does really well within the scare and the creep factor, damn does it, dude. I think the ultimate problem is that it's just too stretched out, right? We needed something a little bit more streamlined, and we needed something where you didn't have those moments of boredom. And that's the unfortunate part with this movie, is that you're literally just wasting time thinking to yourself like, dude, man, if we could get back to the horror stuff, this would be absolutely fucking awesome, but we're spending another 10 or 15 minutes just rambling on, dude. And I know we gotta get to know the characters and shit, but man, like, sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them, you gotta know when to fucking walk away. You know, you gotta do your due diligence, man. You really gotta hit the audiences like a hammer, and I think this movie could have done it, and there's moments where it really does. I mean, look, I was creeped out with the monster and the darkened house and the shadowy areas where you kind of see a creepy hand sort of coming in and shit, and you're like, oh shit, I don't think it's the boogeyman. You gotta really do, man, and it works well. It really got under your skin, and I can see people really having some really great frights from this movie, but again, it just doesn't 100% effectively work, man. And look, I think that's Stephen King in a nutshell, right? Because Stephen King really likes to embellish in a short story or a novella, like really go for it, man, and really just ring out all of the horror and the terror and the ominous mystery that's within a story. But when you're a filmmaker and when you're a movie, sometimes you need to really make some of those hard decisions, and sometimes filmmakers really know the material well enough to really pull that off, and sometimes they don't. And I think it really depends more on the storyteller itself than ultimately Stephen King at the end of the day. Yeah, Stephen King's name is on it, and ultimately he is the one that's going to be judged, which is weird because he's only the author, but it tends to be that way, man. And when we look back on Stephen King adaptations, I'd like to think it's like 60-40, maybe 70-30, somewhere around there, but more often than not, Stephen King's adaptations end up pulling you in, both in book form and movie form, and this is yet another one of those that I think mostly does the trick, man. It really does. If you're looking for one hell of a unique monster and a scary tale that will have you holding on to your partner for dear life, The Boogeyman, well, let's put it this way. I think it definitely has a few tricks up its sleeve. Indeed it does, man. Not bad at all, man. Is it the scariest horror film of the year? Debatable, but does it definitely get under your skin? Abso-fucking-lutely. Scream, scream, scream for your life! With Scream 3, yes. Oh, the 4K digital, baby, for $35, and the steely love at that. Look at that artwork, man. That is great. Nice. Who doesn't love a little Killer Red? Who doesn't, man? Not bad. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Seth, wait a minute. Like, this doesn't really jive with the other steelbooks, because Scream and Scream 2 had black steelbooks that really aped off of the Ghostface design. And this one really, really stands out, man. Kind of like a really bad sore thumb. And I gotta admit, when I first saw the art online months ago, I was thinking the same thing. But now seeing it in person, actually it looks really good, man. I'm liking the eye and the ghost face within the eye and the slashing of the 3 through the red. Like, that looks really cool, dude. And so, yeah, it may stand out a bit, but I think it'll fit in quite nicely. At least I hope it will. I mean, I hope so. Yeah, stands out from the crowd maybe, but this movie kind of does it a little bit. So, well, why not make a steelbook that represents it? Sure, why the hell not, man? It's still a killer good time. Oh, yes, indeed, man. And let's talk about Wes Craven, shall we? Just briefly, because we gotta really give this guy his flowers and his props, because he will always deserve it. This guy has reinvented horror so many times over, whether with Last House on the Left or The Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Motherfucking Elm Street, and Scream, and so many more. He really has taken the genre on a wild ride and has really made his mark, and his legacy will forever be cemented. There's no doubt about it, man. And you gotta understand that when Scream came out, it was a wasteland for horror, and I feel like Hollywood really just beat horror to death, man. And when Scream finally came along, I think it was basically a joke at that point, laughed at, not taken seriously, and basically with the help of Kevin Williamson and the great sensibilities that Wes Craven has and had for a long time, I think they really decided to bring back that gut punch of horror in the best way possible. Make fun of it, yes, but also pay respects to it as well, and do it in a way that really brings horror to a new generation, and they did it perfectly, man. And I kind of feel like the rest of the sequels have always really aped off of that mentality, and Scream 3 does the same thing. But I've always liked the fact that Wes Craven was willing to come back to this franchise over and over again, trying to reinvent it and also one-up himself at the same time, which isn't always easy to do. And I don't know if he was always able to do it, but I appreciate the effort, man. And I think by the time Scream 3 came around, we've been there, we've done that, and you had a lot of movies like Scary Movie that basically made it a joke over and over again. So by the time you got to Scream 3, I think it was always kind of like a been there, done that, and it kind of became a little bit wearisome at that point, and I think we were all kind of just used to it, and maybe it didn't have quite the same impact. But I kind of think of it now, years later, and with the story and the closing the circle and the family dynamics and everything, and how they were able to really bring the horror to Hollywood and try to ape off of the Hollywood machine with the horror sequels and really say something about that, I think it still has a lot of great relevance within the genre. And again, still maintaining that poking fun aspect, but not going crazy over the top with it as well. Just doing it enough where you're really satirizing it, but you're still giving it that horror impact, man. Which I still think is really great to this day, man. Look, it's not the best as far as, you know, a third film in a horror franchise is concerned, but it ain't the worst either. Look, I've seen some dumpster fires, man. Okay, I really have. Third films are not always easy to pull off within the horror genre because, again, by the time you get the third film, it's years later, and, you know, people have already been aping off of it in other films or making fun of it, and so sometimes it's not as dynamic or impactful, but depending on how they do it, it can still pack a punch, and I think Scream 3 definitely proves it, man. It proves it in a big bad way because, hey, it really is the send-off for me, because I ain't coming back to this franchise. I mean, sure, I may watch a Scream 7, but I really have no interest to come back to it whatsoever. I mean, no offense and everything, but I really don't need more Scream in my life. You know, even though I appreciate what Wes Craven did, I kind of felt like he said everything he needed to do with the 3 films, and 5 and 6 just feel like rinse-repeat copies of earlier Scream movies that did it better. So for me, all things considered, I think I'm 3 and out. I really do, man. Wes Craven really proved that he can make a really great new inventive horror flick for a new generation over and over again, and Scream proves it, and perhaps coming back for some sequels that maybe lessened as years went on, but I think when you look back at them, makes for a pretty solid trilogy. Wes Craven, the master, the myth, the legend himself, made horror a little bit better with his presence, and Scream proves that his horror mentality will never be forgotten. Oh, indeed not, man. Not bad. Even with the special features low, with commentary, and that What If song. Dude, I told you, man, it was back in the day, dude. You had to have been there, man. Not bad. Alternate ending, outtakes, behind the scenes montage. Very nice, man. Some nice goodies for a franchise that definitely deserves it. Not bad. And not bad for the physical media love, because it looks like Barnes & Noble was definitely doing their due diligence in a big bad way. They were bringing the love, and I was having all of it. Not bad at all, baby. Let's head out. Well, who'd have thought that Barnes & Nobles would be the best of both worlds? Because we saw some of the releases at Walmart. We saw some of the other releases over at Target. And here, they're all just combined into one. Not half bad. Hey, I'll take what I can get, folks. All right, I truly will, man. And Barnes & Noble seems to know that, quite frankly, it's their job to please that physical media booty. Oh, it really is, man. And I don't mind being pleased a time or two. I really don't, man. Not half bad. Barnes & Noble was definitely deliberate, as I was hoping and expecting. They didn't let me down. Oh, they didn't indeed, man. And most of the stores didn't let me down. Pretty solid week, dare I say. How about we head home and finally finish the video?
Alright, we're not quite done yet. I know, here I said we're done with the video. Let's head home. And sometimes I don't always mean what I say. I don't. Okay, look, I wanted to check out more physical media goodies. Can you blame me, folks? Alright? And I'm hoping that going an hour out of my way will definitely pay off. Well, hoping, kinda, sorta. Physical media guys, you hearing me? Well, let's hope they are indeed, because, well, I can't always say they're always plentiful anymore, but, well, maybe this time we'll definitely do the trick. Maybe indeed when we are at none other than, yes, Best Buy, the Beast. Best Buy, baby. Yes, back again.
And I'm hoping maybe we might find some unique stuff, some good steelbook releases, and maybe a few things that are out of the ordinary. Let's hope, guys. Driving an hour out of my way. There better damn well be. Let's hope. How about we go in and check it out? Alright, everybody, we are in at Best Buy under the new releases, and I'm seeing a few things here and there. Indeed, I am, like Transformers Rise of the Beast. Yes, they've got the 4K. The Blu-ray, sadly, no, but they do have a little bit of exclusive love. Yeah. The steely goodness, baby, for $35.99, which is not terribly a bad price, all things considered, man. Really, I mean, only like $5 or so more. And I gotta admit, I really like the design of this steelbook, man. I actually think it looks pretty cool with the colors and everything and the graffiti on it. Actually, it looks pretty sweet, man. I mean, if I was definitely into the Transformers franchise and really loved this movie, the steelbook might be the way to go. And I will say, yes, it is ultimately a better movie than some of the other ones out there. That is true, but as far as the entire franchise is concerned, yeah, that might be a little bit of praise, but at the end of the day, I'll also fully admit that too little too late, yeah, kind of is, man. I mean, this series is running out of gas, and we'll probably get more Transformers movies because, well, let's face it, folks, we're glutton for punishment. But that being said, damn, dude, even if they're getting slightly better, the taint has already been put on this series and doesn't smell all that good. It really doesn't, man. We've also got Prey, which is so much better than Transformers Rise of the Beast. Let's just be honest, man. I mean, they've got the Blu-ray, they've got the 4K, but sadly, they do not have the steelbook. This steelbook has gone incredibly fast. It is sold out online. It is sold out in stores. If you're lucky to find one, praise whatever God you pray to, because you are one lucky son of a bitch, man. It's a great movie regardless whether you buy the regular edition or the steelbook. Well worthy to have in the collection, no doubt about that. But they do have at least one more copy of the Elemental Best Buy steelbook, which again, great movie. Love this movie to death. Man, what a great Pixar flick, man. Love that. They do have a little bit of Scream 3, though. Yeah, they've got the regular 4K. Sadly, no steelbook goodness. But they do have that 4K Blu-ray digital Scream trilogy set for $51. And it's actually a really nice design, the box and everything. I actually really like that, man. But, I don't know, they've got all three of the Scream films on 4K, and then they've got the Scream 3 movie collection set, and I don't know, that just seems really weird to me. If you're buying Scream on 4K, do you technically need the Blu-ray collection set? I mean, you really honestly don't. I would have just had a 3-film set, or even wait until the 4th film came out and do a 4-film box set, like the Wes Craven Scream films. That would have been cool. But, no, yeah. And honestly, that Scream 3 film collection set has been around for a long time. It's not anything new, man. That set was produced a long, long time ago. So they're just adding it to the set as like, hey, take the shit. I mean, pretty much, man. Like I said, I love this Scream trilogy. To me, this is the be-all, end-all of the series. 4 has its moments. 5, no fucking way, and 6, I'm sorry, it's just not my jam, dude. But the first 3 are definitely great. Whether you get the 4K, the Blu-ray, or all in one, come on, it's Scream. It's a great series. You gotta have it. Come on, man. Not half bad for that. They also have, The Mist. The 4-disc collector's edition, man. The 4K for $22.99. Sadly, they do not have the Steely Love, which is a damn shame, man. It looks pretty good online and everything. Wish they would have had it, but yeah, $26.99 though, if you can find it, it's not bad. But this is not bad artwork either. I do like the artwork. It is a little bit misleading to me though, because it feels like you're walking into like this big monster movie, gigantic monsters all over the place and shit, and it's not exactly the case. I mean, it is a monster movie, a creature feature, aliens and shit, but I like the cover, but it can maybe deceive people just a wee bit, man. But look, regardless, what a great fucking movie, dude. I mean, seriously, among the Stephen King adaptations, The Mist is one of the best. Top fucking tier, no doubt about it, man. And you get a hell of a lot of features and shit. So good. So good. Whatever edition you pick up, if you're lucky enough to get the Steelbook, great. If not, hey, maybe the cover might not be the best, but damn, is the movie good, dude. Not bad. Hell, they even have a little bit more of the Best Buy exclusive Disney 100 love. Not that we were technically asking for it, but they do have Aladdin for $30. And again, lazy, dude. And I don't blame Best Buy, because they just license with Disney, right? I mean, they don't make the fucking steelbooks, they just get the shit. But damn, man, Disney just really went lazy ass with this shit, man. They really did. And I love Aladdin, and even I wouldn't buy that shit. Just saying, dude. And they've also got Talk to Me. They've got a ton of the Blu-ray and the 4K. Again, love this movie. Thought it was a really great slow burn style horror film with some really great effects and some scares and some genuine creeps. Really dug it. I'm kind of surprised they never did a steelbook for this. I thought they would, but maybe it wasn't big enough for a steelbook. Maybe. I mean, for $31 or $22, not bad prices here. They still got Insidious. Oh, they got The Last Dragon. I got my copy. Just saying, baby. I did indeed. Kick-Ass 2, Fall, all the Mission Impossibles, the 2 Expendables, and of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. Not bad either. A little bit of good Steely love, new release goodness. Yeah, not half bad indeed, man. Wonder what's on the other side. And of course, it's physical media. Come on, man. What else would it have been? Seriously, dude. With more Disney 100 love, Little Mermaid and Lion King and Moana and Snow White. Still the lazy ass designs, man. I mean, you look at this design. This is so much better than the fucking steelbook. Damn you, Disney. Damn you indeed, man. I mean, they still got a decent amount of copies of the Little Mermaid steelbook. Even got some copies left of Natural Born Killers, The Flash, Fast X, which really ain't going nowhere. I'm actually surprised they still have the steelbook for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, because I actually really like this steelbook, man. That's not a bad steelbook at all, but actually all the art for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is really cool. I mean, they do have the School of Rock one, they have Smile, The Blackening still, a ton of Avatar: The Way of Water, dude. I mean, at this point, honestly, if you're going to buy it, you're just going to be waiting for Black Friday or Christmas deals or something. I mean, why get it at this point for full price when you can get it for far less, man? Just saying. I mean, they've got the Hackers, Mortal Kombat, Guardians of the Galaxy, but that steelbook is long gone, man. But hey, they still have the Matilda one, which ain't half bad either. I mean, they got a lot of cool stuff, more steelbooks, still a lot of stock that is still remaining, not half bad. Some good releases here, good releases there. But what else do they got? Perhaps more physical gold? Yes, they do indeed, man. Aha, very nice, baby. I mean, we got a lot of the same stuff that we've seen before. They've got So I Married an Axe Murderer, The Machine, About My Father, My Best Friend is a Vampire, Kandahar, Avatar. Ooh, they do have the 4K love for Swamp Thing. I love this movie, man. Old school Wes Craven, Adrienne Barbeau. Ah, man, this was really my first introduction to Swamp Thing, and I loved it. Yes, it's kind of cheesy, ridiculous, over the top, a little bit cheapo, but I still really dig it, man. And I love the guy who plays Swamp Thing. I love the actual look of Swamp Thing. I think it's actually really effective, man. It's so fucking good, dude. Way better than it has any right to be, especially for way back in the day and how much money they had to work with. I think it's pretty darn effective, man. Actually, most Swamp Thing adaptations haven't been all that bad, all things considered. It's kind of crazy to think that, but that really is true, dude. I'm kind of thinking about that, man. Not half bad, but it all started with Wes Craven trying to do a comic book adaptation. Wes Craven and comic book adaptations don't really go together, but actually this one kind of does, man. The 4K style from MVD at Best Buy, that is really cool, dude. That is not bad, man. Of course, they have Team America, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Chucky love, Oh, My Bloody Valentine, and Megan. Ah, yes. The killer doll genre keeps on a ticking, baby. Yes, the 4K love. And here's the thing, man, because I kind of don't like what the studios are doing now, okay? They're basically releasing Blu-ray editions first, and then maybe like 5 or 6 months later, they end up announcing the 4K edition. So you've bought the Blu-ray edition, right? Because that's the only format that's out there. And if you like Blu-ray, hey, that's great. But if you wanted the 4K, you're like, well, I just got to settle for Blu-ray. Now you have to re-buy the damn thing all over again, and that really pisses a lot of people off. And it does me too, I'm not gonna lie, man. Mischievous motherfuckers. As collectors, we just never learn, man. We just never do. But I think now some collectors are at least kind of not buying into the bullshit anymore. And I can't quite say I blame them, dude. However, I will say this. This steelbook looks really great, man. I like that. It looks like she's in like the box and shit. Like, that's awesome. That's a cool looking steelbook, man. And considering that I never bought Megan on Blu-ray, maybe I held out for the right reasons. Maybe I did indeed. Not bad. I may have to pick this up. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It had some moments I wasn't quite a fan of, but overall, as far as killer doll genres go, pretty darn effective, man. Not bad. That's a nice Best Buy steelbook. Again, for $29-30, 4K steelbook glove. Not half bad, man. Not half bad indeed. Got the Princess Bride, Babylon 5. Oh, shit. Just when you thought toilets were safe, they'll get you in the end. With Ghoulies. Holy shit, man. The MVD love 4K for that and Ghoulies. That's fucking killer, man. That is awesome. Dude, I love Ghoulies. There's something about 80s creature features that are so good, and who really knows what the reason is necessarily. Maybe just the fact that they were limited in their effects, and it was kind of cheesy and ridiculous, and I think they just embrace the weird, bizarre, cheapo quality, and yet made something really inventive and creative, because the 80s was so imaginative for horror films and creature stuff, and Ghoulies is one of those that is really cool, man. Just those little monsters and shit is so great. Oh, I've always loved this movie, man. I always thought it was really, really fucking cool. I mean, I do like Ghoulies 2. I think Ghoulies 2 is actually a better movie, and Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College, it is great, man. Hell, I even own Ghoulies 4 on DVD, dude. That's how dedicated to the Ghoulies franchise I am, man. So, Ghoulies love is pretty goddamn sweet. Oh, that's cool. Seeing that at Best Buy, that's fucking awesome, man. Of course, you got World War Z, The Last of Us, Pained, Joyride, Spider-Man. Oh, Friday the 13th. Oh, the limited edition Steely Love, yeah, 4K style. Oh, nice. I'm glad to see this here, dude. I heard about the announcement. I saw it online. I'm like, damn, dude, another Friday the 13th release? Dude, it's like every single year or every couple years, we get new Friday the 13th releases, man. It's just like clockwork. You know you're going to get it, man. And this franchise at this point is just one of those that fans are so dedicated to that they'll buy every fucking release. Even my friend John, man, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this, dude. I'm like, don't you have like 3 or 4 box sets and multiple steelbook editions, Blu-ray editions, of course, but still, like, all those releases and standard ones? And he's like, yeah, your point? Like, okay, fair enough, dude. Look, when you're dedicated to a series, you're dedicated to it, and I get it. I totally understand it. It makes total sense. And it is a cool looking release, all things considered. I mean, I like the slipcover with the eyeball and everything. That's really nice, dude. That is really fucking cool. And, you know, sometimes you're thinking, hey, what's one more release gonna hurt, right? Yeah. Yeah, us collectors, baby. I get it, man. I truly do, dude. Look, I have a few box sets myself. I have the Scream Factory Mega Set. I think I'm good as far as my coverage of the Friday the 13th love. It's a nice looking steelbook, but Even though it's kind of sweet and it would be cool in the collection, I'm going to put the money towards other releases that deserve the love too. I know. I guess I'm not as hardcore of a fan as other people. So sue me. I mean, you got that. You got a little Stephen King love with The Boogeyman, Rosemary's Baby in 4K. Very nice. I mean, this is another one that gets releases every so often. There was a regular anniversary Blu-ray edition. There's the Criterion edition. There's editions overseas. Now, of course, this one as well with the 4K love. So, dude, this is an iconic, classic horror flick, man. I love this movie so much. I mean, produced by William Castle, which is just a class act. I love the actors in here so much. Mia Farrow is awesome in this film. I just love the idea of the paranoia and how you can't really trust everyone like you think you can. Because sometimes people just want you to have the devil's baby. They truly do, man. And sometimes that's frightening in and of itself. It really is, dude. Great classic, especially for the horrific season. Definitely a must-watch. Not bad, man. But another one that's a must-watch is Pumpkinhead. Yes. They've got the 4K Blu-ray Screen Factory release and the only at Best Buy exclusive. That is pretty cool, man. I love Pumpkinhead. Well, at least the first movie, dude. The other movies in the series are not so hot. Okay, the second one has its moments, but, dude, they just go down the shitty straight-to-DVD territory, and, man, are they bad, dude. Even some that went straight to sci-fi, and trust me, I watched those motherfuckers back in the day. I know their shit. All right, I really do. But the original is so great. Lance Henriksen is great in this movie. The idea of getting revenge on these young people who unfortunately made the mistake of accidentally hurting his child, and he has to go to this witch to unleash Pumpkinhead, but sometimes wishes can be very deadly. Indeed they can, man. I love the design of Pumpkinhead, and I believe this was directed by Stan Winston. Yeah, this is the only thing he ever directed, which was wild to me, man. He's such a really great, creative inventor of effects and designs and stuff, and kind of shocked that this was the only one he directed, but man, it will forever live on because this is a classic within the genre, no doubt about that. And the steelbook looks great too. That's awesome. Like Pumpkinhead right there snarling at you and shit. That's so cool. Oh man, some of these exclusive Screen Factory steelbook releases are so great, man. Sometimes I just like the standard classic design stuff. I mean, this is great, but you know, sometimes you gotta hold back. As a collector, it's very hard to do that. Trust me, I know better, man. But sometimes you gotta say, hey, as cool as the release is, don't always need it. But I will tell you, though, that art is really fan-fucking-tastic. If you're a fan, it would be very hard to resist. Yeah, you can go with the classy style that I very much like, but the more new and updated, it is pretty damn tempting. Indeed it is, man. Hell, they still have the Carrie love. They have Strays. Not bad. I've got some interesting stuff. Of course, more of the Disney 100s, which of course they're stocking because it's kind of an obligation. I feel so sorry. I really do, dude. I mean, even with Cinderella, they got that steelbook, and then they've got the regular 4K edition. And just look at this, dude. What is the better design look? Yeah, it's that one, dude. I mean, seriously, how can Disney fuck up that badly? That just really sucks, man. If I'm a collector and I'm looking for really great classic Disney to put in my collection, these ones just aren't doing the trick, dude. I'm just being honest, man. Hopefully somebody got fired over this shit. Hopefully they really did, dude. I mean, they've got those steelbooks. They've still got Quantumania. They've got a ton of the Wakanda Forever, man. They're just never selling these. I'm not even gonna lie. At this point, it's just like a glutton for punishment. I mean, $39, $40 for okay design steelbooks. At this point, Wakanda Forever has been out long enough. These need to go down in price. And because it's a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, that's not the case. and collectors kind of suffer for it. If they even knock this down by even $10, it might help. But look, I've been in the game long enough. I've seen Best Buy exclusive Marvel Steelbooks, and quite frankly, when consumers don't want it, they really don't fucking want it, dude. And no matter, I guess, how much the price is, maybe ain't no one gonna buy this shit. Just saying, man. I mean, they still got the Flashdance Steelbook that I so love. They got a bunch of TV stuff, Scream, the old school Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook, and the 4K as well. Both are pretty cool, but of course, the original design one is so much better. And they've even got some more stuff over here. Black Panther, Strange World, Lightyear that isn't really selling, Big Lebowski that isn't selling, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Yeah, Best Buy seems to have a few things here, a few things there. A little light on the releases though, but for the most part, they're doing their due diligence, and I'll take what I can get. Not bad overall, baby. Best Buy definitely delivering the love like usual. Let's head out. Isn't it nice to come into Best Buy and enjoy a little bit of physical media appreciation? Yeah, it kind of is, man. Even though I'm kind of noticing that they didn't have as much as they had the last time. And then the last time they didn't have as much as they had the time before. I'm kind of noticing a trend. I kind of am, and I'm like thinking, okay, there's a little bit more empty areas, even down there. There's some empty spots as well, even up front with the new releases there is. Very suspicious indeed, but there actually is a reason why, and I think I'll have to discuss it with you guys. But in the meantime, I'm glad I drove out here. A few releases worth showing off, and even maybe one or two that might be actually worth getting. But glad we actually got to see more physical media appreciation, more physical media goodies. I think the trip was definitely worth it. Not quite sure about spending the gas money, but hey, I'm all about that physical media life, folks. Indeed I am, and hope you are too. But it's been solid as far as the good old media love this week. But how about we finally head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And ooh, it was a pretty good one. Yeah, it was. Come on, man. We got to see some really great media, a few surprises here and there, some steely love, on top of some really unique artwork. It was really solid, man. I can't say that every week, like always, is ever going to be like this, but for the most part, you take what you can get, you take what you can get from the stores especially, and this week, they were giving us a lot. And I'm taking all they can give me. Oh, you bet your ass I can, man. Not bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys picked up something good, because let's be honest, there is a lot of media out there to dive into, so hopefully you did. Let me know. As far as I'm concerned, oh, I got something. Yeah, I did. Guilty as charged. Oh, man. I actually got quite a lot to show you guys, man. This is going to be massive, major, mega haul, but so damn good, man. Where do I start? Oh, my God. Well, let me start here, guys, because there was a lot of new releases this week, a lot of unique stuff at the stores, and yeah, there were certain things that I definitely did decide to pick up. Appointment buying, dare I say. And this one was one that, you know, it depends on your mileage as a fan of horror, whether you really are going to love this movie or not, but a lot of people embraced it, me included, and I definitely want it in the collection, and that is none other than Talk to Me. Yeah, the 4K Blu-ray digital. Very nice, man. I don't know if I'd want to actually touch the hand, but hey, seeing other stupid people do it, yeah, I can dig it. Oh, I can, man. Look, I really enjoyed this movie, and as the film is going on, I just got more intrigued and more interested, and just really got caught up in the mystery and the just unique story of the cross between these two worlds, the living and the dead, and how it was all really going to get resolved or come together, and really what was going to happen to this vulnerable girl in the process. And man, did it just deliver. And I really loved it. And to me, I can't wait for where a second movie is going to go, where a sequel is going to really take this franchise, because I see franchise potential in this. I mean, if you think of the idea of a hand that is this dead median's hand that has the power to have you talk to the other side, man, that opens the doors to so many endless possibilities, man. And I'm curious as to where they're going to go with this. I'm intrigued. I'm on board. I definitely want it. And I feel like, a lot of horror franchises are either dead or dying or put on ice for the foreseeable future. And it's movies like Smile, which is getting a sequel, or Talk to Me, or a whole bunch of these properties, Terrifier, you name it, that really feels like there is a great reinvigoration of horror because of the imagination and the creativity and just bringing it to new lengths that I think keep it fresh and keep it new and keep it where you're still on the edge of your seat and it's unpredictable and you're kept on your toes. And as a horror fan, I've got to admit that, look, there's a lot of garbage out there. Truth be told, there really is, man. But every once in a while, more often than not, there comes a horror movie that really stands above the crowd, and Talk to Me is definitely one of them. I'm glad I'm going to have in the collection, because slow burn horror, done well, can definitely intrigue the hell out of me. And Talk to Me did in spades. Absolutely. Creepy as hell. You bet your ass, man. But then there was so much other stuff that got released, man. So much really great goodies that I just couldn't help but buy it, man. And look, you have no idea in the past couple of weeks how happy I was to talk about movies that have been caught up in streaming hell, right? Because, every movie deserves a physical media release. I don't care whether it's DVD or Blu-ray or 4K, they do. And when they're caught in streaming hell, I'm like, dude, we need these movies on physical just for the fans that want them. And this is one that I absolutely wanted, no doubt about it, because the Predator franchise may have had its ups and downs, but eventually they get back up with Prey. Oh, yes. Oh, by the way, the Best Buy exclusive Steely Love. And you're like, wait a minute, Seth, hold on. It wasn't in the stores. So how the fuck did you get this goddamn thing? Well, I might have pre-ordered it. Yeah, I did. I mean, come on, man. Did you seriously think I was going to miss out on this movie? That I was going to miss out on buying the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook? The art is so great on this thing. Look at this. This is great, man. On the backside, oh, that's cool. Come on, that's fucking amazing. I love that shit. Look at this. That's cool, dude. That's fucking sweet. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, I definitely needed this in a big bad way, man. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because as I said at Best Buy, this thing is sold out, man. And I don't think Best Buy is going to restock this. I just honestly don't. And if they do, get on that shit and get on it immediately, man, because if you don't, you're going to be regretting that. You really will. I just knew it had to be an instant pre-order, because this thing was too good not to have in the collection. And even if you don't have this edition, and even if you just want the regular 4K or regular Blu-ray,
dude, this is one of the best Predator movies. I mean, really, to me, it ranks not exactly at the top because the original Predator will always be there, but damn, dude, it is really in the conversation. It's gotta be. It's a great survival instinct, kill or be killed, survival of the fittest movie. And I loved the characters, and I loved the Predator, and I loved the kills, and the action sequences, and man, they really delivered in a big bad way. And if the rumors are true that we are getting a Prey 2, if the rumors are true that they are developing this, and we will get a continuation, I am 100% fully on fucking board, man. I really am. This was too good. It was way better than it had any right to be, and I think a lot of people felt the same way. I think a lot of people like myself went into Prey thinking, dude, this, I don't know, man. Like, is it going straight to streaming? Predator movie? I don't know. And man, I was stunned, and I was thrilled by the movie, and I was like, damn, man, they delivered. And I knew I wanted to own this the moment that I watched it. And damn glad to finally have it in the collection. Because who don't like a little bit of steely love? Yes, definitely for Prey. Well-deserved, dare I say. Well-deserved indeed. Not bad for the Prey love. Pretty damn good, dare I say. Yeah, I'm glad I got it. Just saying, man. But then I'm thinking to myself, there's so many other really great releases out there, right? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, there is another really great 4K edition that's out there of a franchise that I happen to like. And so I gotta pick that up too, right? I can't just leave that hanging because I've got the first Steelbook, I've got the second Steelbook, and well, I can't really, not get the other one, right? You bet your ass when I be getting Scream 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Do you like scary movies? You're not going anywhere, Sydney. Oh, bet your ass she's not. Because she's staying in my collection. Come on, man. Seriously. And, oh, by the way, the steely love at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that, baby. Nice. Well, I don't know about the haircut, Courtney, but boy, you tried. Oh, man. Good God, dude. Look, I said it, and I'll say it again. I do like this movie. Is it one of the lesser Scream movies? Yeah, potentially, and there is problems here, and I fully admit it, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. I still really embrace this movie, and I really like the kills, and I like the motivation of the killer, and I really like the emotional story with Sydney, and finally coming to terms with things with her mother and her past. I thought it really came full circle and was really, really well done and really rock solid, and it's a really great, I think to me, a really great send-off for these characters and for a really great franchise that has reinvigorated horror and really brought a lot of new fans to this really great genre that maybe was tired and old and people were past it, and Scream really brought them in droves, which I really liked, man. I really did. And for me, this series has a lot of nostalgic factor, and this really is the final Scream movie I'm going to put in the collection. I've got to realize at a certain point that certain franchises for me at certain moments in time are done. It's kind of like with Halloween, right? I've told you guys so many times that at the end of H2O, when Laurie chops Michael's head off, that's it. It's done. Sayonara, okay? I'm not about the Busta Rhymes shit or the new Halloween trilogy. I don't want that shit, man. That's it. It's done. It's been a good ride. I'm over. And it's the same thing with a lot of other franchises, and we're here with Scream, right? 4 has its moments, and it's good at times, but I don't really need to own it, and 5 and 6 I don't really care for. So this is it, dude, and I'm okay with that. as a physical media collector, you got to realize that you just can't buy everything just because everybody else is, or peer pressure, or, oh my God, the artwork. I mean, I get it, but you got to hold back a little bit. And for me, this is a really perfect trilogy that really had a lot to say about the horror genre, and also reinvented it, reinvigorated it, and at the same time respected it. And so Scream 3 for me is a really great send-off for the series, and a really great send-off for these characters. So it might not be for everybody, but Scream 3 is definitely for me. And I gotta admit, I do like the look of the Steelbook. At first, I'm gonna be honest, I saw the pictures online and I was really pissed. All right, I was like, okay, Scream is black, Scream 2 is a black Steelbook. I'm like, why aren't we sticking with the trend here? And I was kind of really upset at first. But now, looking at it in person and seeing the red and everything, it really stands out. It's really unique. And I guess I don't mind it. You know, sometimes the OCD collector in me is like, oh, motherfucker. But, you know, I gotta let loose a little bit, and this is a really nice Steelbook, so I guess I can't complain too much. I guess I can't, man. All things considered, not bad for a little bit of Scream love. Man, the final Scream I'm gonna be having in the collection. What do you guys think? What do you do indeed? But then I'm thinking to myself, dude, there's even more stuff that's coming out this week. My God, man. I mean, that was cool in and of itself, but shit, more? You bet your ass. Because when I was at Walmart, man, oh man, I was so happy to see this. And I knew it had to be mine, okay? I didn't know whether it was actually going to be in the stores. I thought maybe I would have to pick this up online, but physical media guys definitely love me. They do. Oh, man. Who doesn't love putting another slasher in the collection? Even if it's Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Oh my God. And I know what you guys are going to say. Oh my God, Seth, you're putting that trash in your collection. Yeah, I am. Deal with it, okay? Jesus, man. I thought this was fun. I know it's taking itself a little bit too seriously, and I know it's kind of cheapo, and you know, it's not exactly the best horror masterpiece that I think people were maybe hoping it was. But as I said earlier, what were you really expecting, man? Seriously, I knew walking into this thing that it wasn't going to be this horror blockbuster extravaganza that everybody really thought. I mean, dude, that was never going to be the case with this. I was hoping for at least a decent slasher, at least something that was unique for what it was worth. And that's what I got, man. I thought it was devious. I thought it was kind of demented. And I thought it really had a creepy vibe with some cool kills and some idiot characters that deserve to die. And I'm all right with that, man. I'm absolutely cool with it. And it's just a great looking Steelbook, man. Like, from Scream Factory, dude, this is awesome. I'm like, damn, dude. And you have no idea. Like, there was a moment or two that I think Umbrella Entertainment in the UK had released an edition of this, or somebody did in the UK, and I saw that edition and I almost bought it, man. I almost fucking did. I was so close. And the price just really got me. I'm like, dude, I like the movie, but I don't know if I want to pay, like, you know, $50 fucking dollars. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, you got all the bells and whistles, but fuck it, man. And so when they announced this, I was like, patience paid off, motherfucker. Patience paid off indeed. And so, yeah, I definitely want this in the Cook collection, man. And to think that we're getting a sequel. Oh my God, man. I'm jonesing. I'm going to be there in the movie theater. I know. I'm crazy. You guys think I'm fucking weird as hell, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. And, you know, look, you got to capitalize when it's possible. When you got a good cash cow, you got to go for it. And this is one of those ones where, yeah, it was, dude. And I'm definitely on board with this thing. Oh, it's just too good to just not have this in the collection, man. I don't always buy Scream Factory steelbooks. In fact, I actually think this is probably the first one that I've ever really had in the collection as far as Scream Factory steelbooks. But I'm going to admit to you, it is well worth having, man. The design of this is really cool. And oh, by the way, I actually like the movie too. So that is a plus, man. Look, this movie is not for everybody. And this movie, for a lot of people, is absolute hot garbage. But, you know, for me, I love the blockbuster movies. I love the really great dramatic dramas and the Oscar bait. But I can also get into some really great slasher trash. And I consider this one of the best. Especially in recent memory, man. Man, just seeing Winnie the Pooh kill people, there's something just instantly entertaining about that, and this movie got me. It really did. I had to own it. Sorry, guys. Sorry indeed. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I wanted the damn thing. Come on, man. It's too good not to. Seriously. Oh, dude. But then, I'm like, oh, by the way, there's more releases this week. And I'm like, oh, yeah. More money I gotta spend. Yeah, well, I didn't really need to spend it, but it's well worth it. It is, because a Stephen King classic hit in 4K. Can't always say Stephen King's worth it, to be honest with you, but for this one, it definitely is when we talking The Mist. Oh, by the way, the Best Buy exclusive steelbook for The Mist. Oh, look at this. Woo! This is very nice with the Slippy Love, and then, oh, look at that. They're trapped in the store, and the fog is waiting to get them. Yes, it is, man. Oh, that good old foggy mist, man. Oh, you just can't get away from the damn thing. Oh, you can indeed. I love that. Look, I think it's cool, man. Not everybody was really digging the steelbook, but I actually kind of really like it, man. I really do. Seriously, it might not be everybody's jam, but it's definitely mine. And on top of that, you get 4 discs. Look at this. And they actually look like wrapped up meat. That's great. Oh my God. That is so awesome, dude. Look at that shit. Oh, that's so cool, dude. Oh, man. That is awesome. I mean, come on. How many steelbooks like this are really this inventive? Not many. But The Mist is. Oh, yeah. Dude, that is awesome. So awesome indeed. I definitely needed this, man. And again, this movie just hit you like a fucking hammer. It was a gut punch. All right? It truly, honestly was. And, you know, look, not every Stephen King adaptation is created equal. I'll fully admit that, guys, okay? There's a lot of them that are like, ooh, damn, dude. Well, I guess you tried. Something like Dreamcatcher? Yeah. But I think The Mist proves that if you have the right actors, and if you have the right director, and you have the right adaptation, you can definitely make something that's very memorable and, yes, stick close to the source material, but also change it when need be, especially when it comes to the ending. And the ending is, my God, man, that's some dark shit. All right? And even Stephen King has come out and said, dude, that ending is far better than I could have ever come up with. So look, Stephen King recognizes game when he sees it, okay? He knows, all right, man? And The Mist really shocked a lot of people and entertained them and horrified them, and rightfully so, dude. And I needed The Mist in 4K, dude. It's kind of weird because sometimes this happens to me. Like, I picked up the out-of-print Blu-ray a while back from Amazon. I'm like, oh my God, this is out of print, cool. And then, like, shortly after, they announced the fucking 4K. I'm like, yeah, God damn it. I'm like, of course, my fucking luck, right? But overall, though, hey, I can't complain. It's a great looking steelbook. It's a great looking movie, and you know, the upgrade will be worth it. It just will. I hope. I hope indeed, but this is a very tasty Steely. I'll fully admit that, man. Not half bad for some good Steely love indeed, dude. Not bad at all. But then I'm like, oh yeah, there's even more releases this week. Jeez, it's like one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. And I'm like, shit, man. And when I was at Best Buy, okay, I sort of realized to myself, I'm like, okay, I didn't pick this one up yet. And it was glad that I kind of waited, because this is a 4K that, well, any Killer Doll fan would love to have. And that is none other than Megan. Oh, look at that. Model 3 generative android and one badass bitch. Oh, she definitely is, dude. Look at this steelbook. This is so cool, man. Look at that. This is awesome. I love that, dude. That is so cool. And on the inside is really great. Look at that. They have the user manual inside. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, that's creative. I'll give them credit, man. It's creative, dude. And they did a really solid job. It's really great. And so glad to have it, man. You know, look, I recognize the movie's faults, but I still think it's really entertaining. And I love the Megan doll and how devious it is. And I love how just menacing and dark she can get, and how twisted she can become, but fully entertaining, and just a wild and crazy time where you're just like thinking to yourself, what is this chick gonna do next? And you're like, oh God, she did that. Oh my God, she can't get any worse. Oh Jesus, my God, why did she do that to that old lady? and yeah, man. So it was really fun and entertaining, and yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I am looking forward to where a sequel goes. And I know they're going to do it because this movie was hella popular. And I think now that you get the origin out of the way and you get a lot of that dramatic niece and aunt relationship and everything, and getting that fully taken care of, and now you can just go balls crazy, man. And I kind of feel like that's what we're going to get with the next Megan movie. And I'm fully on board, dude. I'm glad I waited. At first, I wasn't going to wait. I'll be honest with you. At first, I was thinking about buying the Blu-ray, and then I just kind of held back. I thought, well, maybe I'll get it during like Black Friday time or something. But then when they announced a little bit of Steelbook love, come on. I needed it, dude. I mean, there is a little bit of scratches on the Steelbook, a little bit, but nothing really that kind of pisses me off. No dings, no dents, so sometimes the physical media gods are looking out for me, and this is definitely one of those times, man. It gets unpredictable at the stores, especially when it comes to Steelbooks, and you never know if it's going to be in good condition or not, but thankfully, this evil babe definitely was. Not bad, baby. Not bad indeed to finally have Megan in the collection where she belongs. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I know there's other things that I wanted to pick up that are not going to be in the stores, so I figured might as well order them through Amazon. Why not, man? Because more 4K goodness is never a bad thing for the collection, because, well, as I've proven already, if you don't want to get the Blu-ray, or if you missed out on the Blu-ray, well, just wait, because the 4K is on its way eventually with Promising Young Woman. Yes. Oh, finally having this in the collection, man. I loved this movie. If you remember when I talked about this in the Out and About long ago, I praised this movie to high heaven, and I still do to this day. I love the performances and the story and the revenge angle. So fantastic in every single way. And I remember thinking about buying the Blu-ray, and For some reason, I didn't. I think there was other stuff to get, and I thought, well, this is a popular enough movie, right? I mean, it's still going to be in the stores. And yeah, there goes me thinking. And I'm like, oh my god, suddenly it's like this movie's not in the stores anymore, and all I can find is the DVD. I'm like, what the fuck? And I guess I could have ordered it through Amazon, but once I really was even thinking about it, I heard rumors of a 4K. And then I was like, okay, well, if there's rumors out there, most likely we're going to get one. And indeed we did, man. And so I just waited. Patience paid off. Hey, it definitely did, man. And this one is definitely worth it to have in the collection, man. Oh, it's one hell of a story. And boy, let me tell you something. I wouldn't cross that chick anytime soon. I really wouldn't. Definitely had to get it 4K style, baby. Not bad. Not bad indeed. But then I thought to myself, well, there is another movie that was hit in 4K that I have actually never had in the collection, but I love this movie. And I knew that I had to pick it up, dude, because it's just too damn good not to. Because sometimes when you're captured, you need Morgan Freeman to save your ass. And Kiss the Girls. Oh, yes, abso-fucking-lutely, dude. I love this movie. In fact, my mother loves this movie. She really, really likes this movie a lot. I don't even know if we saw it in the movie theater. Maybe we did. I don't know. I keep on thinking we did, but maybe we didn't. But I remember we watched it together at some point, and she just loved it. She just loved the idea of this woman being taken and imprisoned, and the idea of this killer that's playing games, and she has to get out before it's too late, and Morgan Freeman being the detective and trying to find the clues to catch this bad guy, and all the complications and the drama that goes along with it. I thought it was so great. I thought it was really suspenseful and on the edge of my seat and thrilling. I really loved it. The performances are amazing. Ashley Judd is great here. Morgan Freeman is top notch, but then again, not all of the time, Morgan Freeman pretty much delivers, dude. And I love the other actors in here. Carrie Elways is great in here as well, man. It's a solid flick, a really great, tense movie that deserves its place in the collection. It really honestly does. And when they announced the 4K, I knew, yeah, it's going in the collection. I knew it indeed, man. So good. If you've never watched Kiss the Girls, watch it. I guarantee you probably are going to dig it, man. You probably will indeed, man. Great, great. But then I thought to myself, well, there's one more movie. One more that I wanted, dude. And, you know, when we talk about Winnie the Pooh, and we talk about properties that are turned into horrific installments, yeah, Winnie the Pooh is classic. Everybody loves Winnie the Pooh. But 'tis the season. Because this one is one hell of a mean one. And mean one. Mr. Grinch. Oh my lord, look at this, baby. Oh, the Grinch is gonna be slashing and being a little naughty in the process. Indeed he is. Oh man, look at that. Oh, look at that, man. That is killer. Pun totally intended. Yes. Now, some of you might not even know about this movie. Some of y'all are like, wait a minute, what the fuck is the mean one? Okay, to be fair, guys, this movie is a really cheapo indie slasher that came to the movie theaters for a very brief period of time, man. In fact, I went to the movie theaters with John to see this because we really loved the trailer and we thought, dude, a killer slasher movie with the Grinch as the villain, like, what the like, it's just like, who comes up with this shit? And so we had to watch it, and I'll be honest with you, John left the movie theater kind of like, but I left the movie theater like, dude, this is great slash and trash. It is, dude. Look, this is not high art. I'll freely admit it. This is not at all, man. Not even fucking close. But I like how they spin the whole, like, Grinch tale, Whoville stuff, and really turn it on its head with the rhyming and the fairy tale aspect to it, and how they mix in the Grinch lore. And here's the thing, though. You can use the Grinch imagery as long as you don't say that it's the Grinch, right? Because once you do, yeah, they're coming after your ass. And so at every single turn, like, some of the characters are about to say the Grinch, and then they get interrupted. Like, they're like, well, and they somebody like stops them if they're at like a bar, and oh, your drink, sir, or like, you know, some crazy hijinks happen, and they're like, well, we don't call him that, we call him the mean one. And I'm like, yeah, I see you. I know what you're doing, man. And look, the kills are cool, but they are a little chintzy and cheapo, and there's a lot of like CGI blood that's flying around, and you're like, okay, yeah, come on, you couldn't use real blood. And the costume and the mask and everything, it doesn't really move very well. It's kind of very static, and so the performer inside is definitely trying to like overdo it so that maybe he can compensate for the lack of actual any motion and movement in the face. And he tries his best, and he does pretty well, man. I mean, considering that the guy in the suit is David Howard Thornton. Oh, you don't know who that is? Art the Clown? Terrifier? Yeah, one and the same, guys. So he does really well in the costume and trying to play it up the best he can without actually saying anything as the character, and not being able to move much in the suit and the face. And I'm like, hey, he does the best he possibly can, but I love the cheesy aspect to it, the ridiculous over-the-top nature, and I just really like the idea of taking these beloved properties and turning them into this slash garbage. I just do, dude. And for me, I'm like, it seems kind of like a no-brainer, man. Wouldn't somebody have done this before now? But maybe they were worried about copyright. Maybe they were worried about, you know, getting sued. Who knows, man? But because Winnie the Pooh was so successful, and then the Mean One came out, and the Mean One made a lot of money, and that was successful, and now we're getting a whole shitload of them. I think there's going to be like one with Bambi that's coming out. I'm not even kidding you, man. Look that shit up. It's just crazy to me. But I'm sure not everyone is going to be as fun or as campy as the Mean One is, or as sort of wild and horrific as Winnie the Pooh is, but I like these movies. And I fully recognize that they're not great movies, okay? I'm not sitting here saying, oh my god, they're masters of the art form of horror. Like I'm not doing that, guys. I know what this is. And I can fully embrace it, and I can fully realize that I'm watching garbage, but it's fun garbage. And sometimes that's all I want, and as long as it entertains me, as long as I really dig the film, and as long as I feel that there's a rewatchability to it, I'm putting it in the fucking collection. And, well, let's be honest, I'm Jewish, so I don't give a shit about Christmas. And so, anytime that I can see somebody you know, hacking and slashing their way through people who like Christmas, I consider that a win. I really do, dude. So, the Mean One definitely gets my stamp of approval. Oh, it absolutely does, man. Goddamn does it. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought, indeed? And who would have thought for the physical media love? Look at this. Jesus Christ. Woo! This is one hell of a stack, man. And let's put it this way. Oh, I'm going to enjoy putting this in the collection. And before I let you guys go, I've gotta talk about this one, guys, because when I was at Best Buy, I did mention and notice that there wasn't as much physical media out as I was hoping there would be. Now, you can say to me, Seth, maybe they didn't get as much stock in this week, or there was still stuff in the back that they hadn't put out. Hey, fair enough, right? You had a point. Or could it be that they're phasing physical media out completely? Look, if you Google Best Buy physical media, hit enter, and you will see so many articles because it has been reported, and I believe most likely confirmed at this point, that Best Buy is officially ending physical media, movies in their stores for good come 2024, and most likely at the end of quarter one of 2024, which would be around March or so. Now, it could be earlier, it could be slightly later, we don't know, but regardless, in 2024, physical media will no longer be at Best Buy. Now, you're also probably saying, well, Seth, okay, maybe that's in store, but we'll still have it on, BestBuy.com. No, because Best Buy is not only ending it in stores, but they're also ending physical media online as well. Best Buy is no longer, no matter online or in store, will not carry physical media no longer. That's it, they're done. And this has shocked the system. Literally, it has shocked everybody. People are panicking, and it's doom and gloom, and it's cats and dogs living together. It's mass hysteria. Okay? It really seriously is, man. And it's wild right now. And a lot of people are trying to cope with this and figure this out and what's going to happen. And it's nuts, man. It's like the Wild West right now, man. Everybody is gone, And the truth is it an ultimate surprise? No. I saw it coming for a long while. If you guys remember, I used to show off the physical media at Best Buy on a regular weekly basis, and then they did the remodel. And then I also showed you guys that after they did the remodel, there was no longer any physical media at my Best Buy. None whatsoever, not a nothing, okay? And so I decided, look, I'm probably not going to go to Best Buy much, and now I really don't. Very rarely do I, and if I do, I'm driving an hour or more out of my way just to go to one that has physical media. And so it's been a struggle for me, but for a lot of other people, they can easily find the physical media at Best Buy, so this is an even more shock to the system for them than it is for me, technically. But look, Best Buy has been lowering the physical media year over year over year. And this is just the reality of the situation, guys. I mean, look, the truth is that Best Buy is heading in another direction. They're wanting to sell more refrigerators and washer and dryers and TVs and big ticket items, right? Why would a store essentially get a sale of like over $3,000 from a refrigerator and yet, put on their shelves a $20 Blu-ray? Like, the disparity of it. And I don't necessarily agree with it, but from a company standpoint, you gotta look at it at all ends. And it pains me to say that because for me, I loved going into Best Buy. I mean, when I started doing these out and about videos in around 2017, I believe, it was great to film at that store. But I was going into Best Buy way before that and checking out the physical media and all of the availability and the different editions. It was so amazing and wonderful. And slowly but surely, I saw the stock and the inventory wane and decline, and I saw that it wasn't as big of a concern for Best Buy as it was way back. And then again, you could say that for a lot of stores, man. I mean, even with Target, that whole chestnut that I talked about before. And in fact, it was kind of weird because I saw the electronics manager this week, and he was talking to me, and we were talking back and forth about that whole physical media Target thing. And he said to me, look, can you say something to your subscribers? And I said, sure, yeah, what do you want me to say? And he's like, look, we're not ending physical media. Like, the stores are still going to carry it. We just had to do a transition, and we had to move things around, and we had to have the empty shelves in order to reset stuff. And so it's not as doom and gloom as everybody thinks it is. So can you try to explain that? And I said, sure, I'll do that. But now with the whole Best Buy debacle and dilemma, I'm going to also be honest with you. I think this is going to give a lot of fuel to the fire for Target to basically be like, yeah, we're out too. I mean, at this point, Target doesn't have much to offer anyways. And him and I were both talking about it, and we agreed, and the idea that they just don't get much stock in and anymore, and it depends on the studios, and if they are, wanting to really spend the money to put it in Target stores, and we were going back and forth on it. But the truth of the matter is that every single year around this time, fall time, they have declined the physical media over and over and over again. And now with this, I can see Best Buy saying, hey, look, we're out too. We're gone. Maybe they might keep the online stuff, but maybe. I don't know. But I could clearly see them just going the way of the dinosaur and saying, hey, look, man, we're done. We're not really selling it as much either. And so why keep that space when we could have something that sells? It pains me. It pains me to say that, but it's the reality of the situation, and I gotta be real with you guys. And so what are we left with? We're left with Walmart, Barnes & Nobles, for the time being, but Lord knows that might not always last, and the odds and ends of maybe an indie store here and there in your area that's going to carry it. That's it. Done, man, okay? And, it's just a sad reality that we all have to really deal with, and we all really have to, unfortunately, gotta cope with. Oh, by the way, what happens to those exclusive editions that Best Buy does? All those steelbooks? What about those? I mean, they're not going to be sticking around, so where will they end up? Well, maybe Amazon or even Walmart, because as of recently, Walmart's really been getting into the steelbook game, and for a while, I was kind of scratching my head thinking, why are they doing this? Why are they trying to compete with Best Buy in the steelbook game? But now I'm realizing they weren't competing with them. They're replacing. And I'm like, oh shit. And nobody knew. We didn't know. It was just kind of weird that they were getting into it, but now I get it, man. And so I can see a lot of exclusive editions coming through to Walmart and Walmart only, or even Amazon. And look, now it's heading towards an online game. I mean, even though Walmart is still gonna, I think, for the time being, remain in the physical media game, that's for the time being, but a lot of it's headed through online. Whether you're going through Amazon or Groove or Diabolic DVD or Orbit DVD or a lot of the other ones out there. But I'm gonna admit, that's a gamble, guys. It's one hell of a gamble at that, because Amazon at times, maybe you might get in some good stuff, but dude, man, they mess up a hell of a lot of times. You have no idea how many editions have been cracked or dinged or dented or broken up, or the slipcover has been fucked up to all recognition. And I'm like, why am I paying a premium for this when it's going to get damaged? No wonder I bring the shit back. I mean, seriously. And the same with Groove. I've had bad stuff that's come from Groove. I've had bad stuff that's come from Diabolic DVD. I've had bad stuff that's come from Orbit. And really, when you order online, it literally is a gamble. You have no idea when you go into the stores whether or not you're going to get a good edition or a bad edition. And you have no idea when you open up that package whether it's going to be pristine or the slipcover is going to be fucked up. Now it's all a gamble. Literally, me and John have these discussions all the time. You have no idea how John literally texts me pictures of his steelbooks or his slipcovers and how messed up and damaged they are. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, you should contact them. And he's like, dude, I'm not going to contact them, man. It's just too much effort and too much time. And it's just like, you don't even know if you're going to get a good edition anyway. Then it's like, it's a fucking hassle. And you just give up. You just wave the white fucking flag, dude. I mean, even Best Buy now, when you get, new releases in the mail, if you order online from them, even their shipping, the packages suck, dude. And it's just rattling around, dude. And Amazon has the same style packaging. Everybody does. Some package a little bit better than others, but God damn, man, like, the packaging really blows, and these are things that you are paying high prices for as it is. And oh, by the way, with these stores lessening and completely losing their physical media, what do you think that's going to do for the market? You think prices are going to go down? Dude, are you fucking kidding me? They're going to rise like a motherfucker. I mean, you think eBay is bad now? Just you fucking wait, man. eBay is going to get a hell of a lot worse, and a lot of these premium exclusives, you're going to pay a hell of a lot more for them, because really, there's only going to be a few outlets for you to actually get them. And I say few as in maybe one. And if you don't get it in time, you're fucked. And it's going to be limited like a motherfucker. So good luck with that one, guys. We all have to look forward to that. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, God, man. And look, is this the ultimate end for physical media? I mean, when you really look at it, whether it's dealing with upcoming high prices or a lot of exclusivity where there isn't going to be a lot of product, but there's going to be a hell of a lot of demand, does this mean that physical media is going to get better or worse? In my honest opinion, it's not going to get better, guys. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Is it doom and gloom? Not necessarily, because we are living in a great golden age to a certain degree of physical media where the boutique labels are putting out amazing titles and amazing editions with phenomenal artwork and special features, you name it. And these companies and studios are really starting to trust more in the consumer. You have Disney putting out a lot of the Marvel and Star Wars TV shows. You have, Paramount that's really doing some cool additions, and Lionsgate, and there's some really great stuff out there in the marketplace. The problem is the accessibility to get it, and now where do these companies turn to? It's like all these companies are still announcing titles. It's not like they've just stopped announcing stuff, because, James Cameron 4K movies are coming out, like The Abyss and True Lies and stuff like that. You have other companies that are putting out older titles that are getting 4Ks, and you have boutique labels that are putting out high-profile titles that could be in a store, but now with Best Buy no longer being around, with Target barely putting out any physical media, and Walmart having their ups and downs, this is going to be a mess. It's just going to be an absolute mess. And how will the studios adjust? How will the boutique labels adjust? How will everybody sort of get along, right? I mean, this is going to shake up the industry. It really honestly is, guys. And it really is going to become a major conundrum. I think eventually things will settle down. I think that there will eventually be a status quo, but God knows when that will happen or how it will happen. Look, at the end of the day, physical media is getting more niche. It's not getting more popular. And now with these stores lessening the physical media and outright ending it completely, that niche is going to get worse. Okay, the one thing that we could always say when we talked about physical media is at least it's in the stores. At least it's on the store shelves, and you have no idea when I'm going to film, guys, and when I'm out there and I'm showing off the physical media and I'm talking about stuff, that there's always people that are kind of looking at the media and picking it up and maybe putting it in their cart and giving it a chance because it's out there in the ether, right? It's out there right in front of you and you can see it and you can touch it and, you know, you can look at it and you can consider it, right? That goes away. And when that goes away, it lessens the popularity even more of it. Not that it was crazy popular now as it is, but at least there was a visibility to it. And there's not even that now. And so that really, really, really stings. And again, with being more niche means that there's going to be a higher demand for certain titles and certain editions because these companies realize that they can charge you whatever they want, because if you're a collector, you want it. Oh, you want the latest Steelbook edition? $50. Wait a minute, what? Hey, it's limited. It's only an exclusive through us now. And since you're all a niche group and you really love physical media and you really think this is going to be popular, get it or miss out. That's exactly where this is going to go, guys. And it's not going to be easy for collectors, and I feel a lot of collectors are going to get priced out. It will happen. Look, I predicted this stuff earlier in the year. Go back to the first out and about of 2023, and at the end of the video, I was talking about my predictions. Go back, look at that video, and see what my predictions were. And when you look at my predictions, look, I don't got a magic 8-ball or shit, but I got a lot right. Okay, I really did, man. And that's just fucking wild to think about that, because you saw where the trends were heading. You saw that it wasn't going to get easier. It was just going to get harder. And at the end of the day, look, I don't think we can say doom and gloom. I don't think we can ever really say that. But we can't say that this is going to make collecting easier. We can't say that this is going to really, you know, change the game and everything's going to be the same and, oh, we'll just get over it. No, we really won't. And I realize that, look, times are changing. People are heading more towards digital, and people no longer really are as invested in physical media as they used to be. And once you get into that mentality of being on a streaming platform and just having everything one click away, once you're used to that convenience, it's hard to break out from it, man. And with every avenue of new technology, something gets lost along the way. And we're here now. Okay? Maybe in about 10 years time, maybe it'll be like vinyl, right? And like, hey, there's gonna be a comeback. Maybe there will, man. I don't know if I entirely believe that, but hey, somebody's gotta have hope, right? So, why the hell not, man? But, you know, it's the world we're living in nowadays, and as collectors, this really is a sad day. No matter how you slice it, whether you saw this coming or not, it is an ultimate sad day. And once one domino falls, they all start falling. And that's just the honest truth, guys. And you know I'm right on that. You know Best Buy is announcing this, and that they're going to end it, and you know Target is next, and you know it's just going to be one after the other after the other. Some may take longer to lose their physical media than others, but it's a sad reality. And what does that mean for the out and about videos? I mean, I'll still try to do stuff. I'll still try to go to the stores, the ones that carry it. But, I mean, I knew when doing these videos, I knew that there was an eventual shelf life. I just knew it. And I could never tell you what that shelf life was. I could never say, oh, hey, 2055. Yeah, you know, like I couldn't do that. But I also knew that physical media was not heading down an easy road. And I knew that a lot of these stores were lessening it. And I was just holding on for dear life, hoping that these stores would keep it around, and they're just not selling it like they used to, and they're just bringing back a lot of stock and inventory to the companies, and it's just one of those things where I think for a while they and us were trying to justify it, and I think they can't justify it anymore, and they're trying to let us down gently. But as physical media collectors, there's nothing gentle about this, dude. There just really isn't. And I'll still collect. I'll just collect online. Or I'll go to Walmart and hope to God that my edition doesn't get dinged up. Or a steelbook or shit. Because once I open it, I can't return it. And Walmart's policies fucking suck. And so, oh my God, man. You know, I thought about it for a while because there was certain steelbooks that Best Buy was putting up for pre-order and eventually coming out, and they were all selling out and they weren't restocking. And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, why aren't they restocking this? Like, why is it completely sold out? It's not in the stores or anything. It's just completely gone. And now I get it. I completely get it. I understand it. That basically they just got a limited amount and that's it. And since they're really just leaving it behind anyway, why bring more in? Damn, dude. Like, now it just all kind of felt like all the signs were there. We just really didn't see it. And we really didn't acknowledge it. We just were like, well, I guess it is what it is. Now we know better. Man, we really do, dude. So, strap in, buckle up, get ready, because this is going to shake up the industry in a big, bad way. Some people think that it's not going to affect anything. Other people think it's just going to be the end of the world. I don't think it's one side or the other, but I think that it's going to be a very, very, very rough go of it. And I'll be curious to see how it all shakes out. I think you will as well, but regardless, I'll continue to stay physical media strong. What about you? What about you, indeed? Let me know what you think, guys. But look, trends are changing and times are changing and the way we buy physical media is changing. And, you know, who would have ever thought that one of the biggest physical media retailers for a long time is finally cutting ties with physical media, man. It's just crazy to think about it. You think about the old days and you think about how much they had and rows of it. And now there's like one little section and that's it. And now, poof, it's gone for good. Sad reality, but it's a reality that we're all gonna have to accept, man. Definitely let me know what you think about that, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video, even though I was a little doom and gloom here. Hey, I keep it real with y'all. I really do, man. If you like the video, definitely give me the thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, how I talk about movies and physical media, definitely hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my great subscribers. You guys are awesome and amazing, and you really give me a lot of great feedback and a lot of wonderful comments and support, and I always really cherish you guys in a big bad way. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and really committing to the channel. And I do my best for you guys when I possibly can. So thank you for your patience and your true understanding. So if you like how I talk about all of the movie love, physical goodness, definitely hit subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I do a community post or put out a video. Definitely do that. Also, keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you want to send the channel any movie-related goodness, whether it be posters or physical media, care packages, whatever it might be, you are more than welcome to do that. The P.O. Box is in the description below. It is not expected, but it is definitely appreciated, and you guys have went out of your way to send me some amazing things that I never thought I'd get in a million years, and man, I just really appreciate everyone that has sent something, and I keep the P.O. Box open just in case y'all decide that you want to send something. So if you do, you're more than welcome to. I'll definitely look forward to it. I definitely will, but I guess that does it for the end of the video. It's been a wild ride and so much things to show off and talk about, and let's hope the same can be said for next time. I will see you guys back for another out and about video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.